national anthem.
I'm offended.
Heavenly Father, we praise and thank you for the gifts of life, which we abundantly enjoy this afternoon. May our cheers be a song of praise and thanksgiving, and for all the many blessings you have bestowed on us, and may all the efforts made tonight be for the glory of the name of Jesus Christ, your Son, our Lord. Amen.
What a play, play after play after play.
And there it is. And she is taking over.
Love that.
He's got a lot of room to run.
The greatest conference in the country is showing out tonight, gentlemen. Wow.
Home run. That's number one on SportsCenter right there.
Daquan Davis into the paint, and he puts it in for a 2-point lead. Your WCAC champions.
As honorary captains for today's game, we would like to welcome the 1973 championship football team
Forestville,
and
Maryland,
tribute to
home
them
of the Bishop
today
McNamara Mustangs.
for their 50th
And today's
anniversary.
amazing WCAC Game of the Week on behalf of First Amendment Sports. I'm Ken Meringolo. He's Tim Strachan.
I'm looking forward to this matchup. This is one that we had on our calendar for a long time, only because Forestville and McNamara, they know how to do football on Saturdays, man. It's such a great atmosphere, especially for homecoming.
Bishop McNamara Mustangs are welcoming the Archbishop Carroll Lions to Tioga Jackson Field for the Mustang homecoming. We got the 1973 City Championship representatives of the Mighty Mustangs from that year at center field. They've come home. We got an amazing day of weather. Got a great matchup. Two teams. You talk about rivalries in the WCAC. Archbishop Carroll and Bishop McNamara have been getting it on for a long time, T, as you well know, all the way back to our days, and certainly decades before.
Well, in our days, they got them every single year. Now they have to make a point of scheduling this because they're in two different divisions, and it's great to see that this rivalry and this tradition can continue.
We got some new and new-ish coaches. We'll talk about that. Let's talk a little bit about the players we're going to watch today, T. I believe we'll be starting on the Archbishop Carroll side. And let's see, we talked to Coach Darian Quick this week, and we got some players to watch from the Archbishop Carroll Lions. And, I was out there on the field early, and you could just tell, number one, DeMille Bostic, the Holy Cross commit, the linebacker, the junior, defensive back and wide receiver, but he's a big boy. He plays everything, and he hits hard on both sides of the ball, number one. Number two, a guy we've been able to cover now for a few years.
Ronald Burke Jr. We were talking to Coach Quick earlier this week. He just said, look, he's a leader since he was in the 10th grade. He's all Carroll, right? He leads tours. He leads prayer groups. When the priest can't be there to say service, they ask him to step in. Apparently, he does everything at the school, on the field and off the field. And those are the things that we love to hear about these kids. We always like to praise them for what they do on the field, but especially when the coaches point out the stuff that they do off the field and that they're going to be leaders in our society because they're leaders here as young men.
Jerry Barry, number 5, the senior linebacker and fullback, another guy, Coach Quick, spoke highly about him, talking about one of the smartest kids on the field no matter what field he plays on. He's got over 20 offers. All the service academies won him. All the Ivies won him. 4.2 GPA and a gifted athlete. And again, culminating in number 6, Cam Williams, a guy we've had a chance to watch now for a few years, just an absolute dog on the field. Senior defensive back and wide receiver. He's a leader in the clubhouse. He does everything right, and he is an absolute lion through and through, as we would say. And then, of course, they're led by Coach Darian Quick. We said we had a chance to talk to him. It's his first year on the job, taking over for Rob Harris. He's fun to talk to.
Here's what he pointed out. Rob Harris left for a great opportunity, but he left in June. And that's so late in the cycle of the football season or the football calendar that Coach Quick was behind the ball being a head coach for the first time. But he said he's worked on the culture. He's worked on the things that he wanted to do as a head coach. He's got a great, group of coaches that are helping him out, and he feels like he's hitting his groove right about now.
On the McNamara sideline, we got some guys to talk about there as well. Number 26, the French-Canadian Charles Fortin, the junior from Canada. He is showing all of North America what he's all about. You can see there it says, "I'm big" in Canada. Number 12, the quarterback. 9, Noah Miguel, the senior, and I tell you what, he is representative of the evolution of the offense here in Forestville.
Just watching him in warm-ups,
that's right.
He's got all the tools. He looks the part.
Dylan Newman, number 7. You heard if you were tuning in early enough, you heard the crowd go crazy for number 7 as he went on the field. He's been catching the attention of everybody that he's been playing. We were told he's got reckless abandon and bad intentions.
You know when the number's stretched, that's a dude to look out for.
And speaking of stretch, number 8, Lugard.
Oh yeah.
Edipaye. On the basketball court.
By the end of the day.
But Lugard, we just call him Lugard. We saw him play some wide receiver. The guy's a 6'7" defensive end.
Wait till you see him. He's a monster.
And there. Coach Greg Calhoun in his second year on the sidelines for Bishop McNamara, as we are going to get underway, and the Mustangs going to kick it off. And Cam Williams with his back foot on the 14-yard line. He takes off down the middle of the field, and he's got a seam.
He's going to – oh!
And the Mustangs are able to make basically a touchdown-saving tackle on special teams. Late flag comes flying through the air.
Adams saves the day on the first play of the game by saving a touchdown there with a great tackle, running him down from behind.
Coach Quick and the Carroll Lions starting quick. And you might see the special teams of the Mustangs try to keep the ball out of number 6's hands on kicks for the rest of the way.
Certainly a great way to start the day if you're the Carroll offense. Awesome field position.
Unsportsmanlike conduct is going to go against Carroll.
As I say, great field position. They go from one side of the field maybe to the other side.
Yeah, they're going to be put on the wrong side of the timeline.
By a yard. So they're on the 49-yard line, it looks like.
And we're going to get a look here at the quarterback for Carroll. And we talked about Arnold Kijamble. Now, this kid led PG County in tackles last year. And they realized he's got quite an arm.
That's just amazing.
Yes.
He led a county in tackles.
One of the baddest
starting quarterback right now
in the country. And they got him under center. We'll see what the Lions start out with. It's an inside handoff right away to Ronald Burke.
All Carroll.
Yeah, the guy does. Ronald Burke does everything. Mr. Everything. I believe he was the homecoming king. Or Prince.
He's everything. Oh my God, he is everything.
He is. He's absolutely everything for Carroll, and we love him. All right,
runs the food drives, does it all.
And he does do it all. He's going to run it on offense. He's going to play in the secondary and at the linebacker level, as we got about 2nd and 8 here for the Lions, right about on the 50-yard line. Arnold, another handoff. Berg is mad, and I tell you what, right away, as who was that? I believe that was Zach Betts. And the helmets are flying, and we got chippiness out of the gate. We're looking for some composure.
This is the rivalry you're talking about.
Dylan Newman lost his helmet, and more flags come out. They're like magicians with the flags are tied together in their sleeves, and it's just one after another coming on out here.
You hope that nobody's going to get tossed. If they had 2 flags thrown on them, 2 personal fouls like that, I think that's cause for being disqualified.
And we didn't get a chance to talk a lot about him, but Zach Betts, number 58, the senior defensive lineman. Coach Calhoun was talking to us about him. You saw him meet the ball carrier in the hole. This is a guy who he said, hey, if you coach football, he's the guy you want on your team. He does everything right.
Oh, so he would bet on Betts.
He would bet on bets. High character.
At any point, yeah.
And also a guy who we'll see play two ways.
I was going to say, you're selling him short. He plays defense and offense.
Well,
in the trenches.
I'll tell you, he played some defense on that play. We're going to see which way the referees are going to march. All right, so first call is going to be unsportsmanlike on McNamara.
Pretty sure this is going to be offsetting.
And we're going to call that offsetting. And I didn't get the ejection sign. Everyone's staying on the field. And I believe they're dead ball foul, so it will stay third down, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I believe that's the case. I believe everything happened after the whistle. It's going to be 3rd and 8. And I believe Carroll's setting up a few inches in McNamara territory just on the other side of the 50. And Arnold's in the shotgun. And he's got behind him, he's joined by, I believe, it's TK Davis, the sophomore. And you want to keep your we're going to keep our eyes here on number 9 on our side of the field, Kyrie Wynn. You've been watching Carroll football long enough. You know one thing. They bring speed on the outside. They graduated one of the fastest human beings on the planet in Nick Harbor. And this guy, Kyrie Wynn, is every bit in that mold.
Well,
he
they're going to have to get
flies.
downfield because it's 3rd and 9. They got to get to the sticks.
Arnold, he's got a little bit of time. He's being chased down. He's going to be.
Oh, my goodness.
Now he let
threw
the
that.
ball. The ball is. I believe they're
He
going to.
threw that. It's going to be incomplete, but they're also going to call intentional grounding because
Yep.
he was not outside of the tackle box. He tried to get rid of it. Good effort, but
Yeah,
got to be smart. Got to be smart. At least he didn't take the sack, but
that
you
was
got to have somebody in the area when you throw the ball.
That was at least 5, if not 6, McNamara Mustangs in the backfield, and he had about a 1.5, maybe 2 seconds to get rid of that ball, and when he didn't, he was met.
Well, really, hats off to the McNamara defense. They start off in a bad position. The personal foul after the whistle of the opening kickoff backed Carroll up over the 50-yard line again, and then they just kept going the wrong way. They couldn't get anything going, and McNamara now got out of a situation where they were in a bad field position move, and now they're going to get the ball.
And you got looks like Ben Chandler and
Ben Chandler looks like an athlete. It says
TJ Chambers. Well, we saw him on the basketball
position,
court.
It says athlete.
Yeah,
and,
we see him on the court. He plays a little football on the basketball court too. And the punter for Carroll, he's going to be just right around the 20-yard line.
If the referee that's running onto the field right now because he's late throws a flag on the next play, there's something wrong.
Okay, it looks like Carroll got a timeout at the last second. I believe they're going to give it to him so they won't get the delay of game. And, everything was going right for that first play for Carroll, and they've been marching the wrong way. A couple of lapses in composure by both squads here on the first drive. You could see, you watch Coach Quick and Coach Calhoun. They're getting these guys under control. I think they're going to settle down, settle in.
We talk about it all the time, though. These kids know each other.
Yep,
they
play
grew
ball
up
their whole
playing
lives.
either with each other, on the same team, or they played against each other, and now they're against each other in high school when the stakes are a little bit higher. And there's more than just winning a game. There's pride. There's neighborhood, bragging rights.
Yeah. Except for Charles Fortin, unless these guys are up in French
that's
Canada.
True. That's true. But he did come down here for a reason. He said he wanted to play American football, and he came to a great place.
Yeah, great school and a great league.
Great culture. Homecoming today. All the alumni are out in the new pavilion. Looks great.
Everything looks. It's this classic McNamara Saturday. You got the tailgates on the hill. People park their cars.
That's the best part.
It goes
tailgating on the hills.
Grills are going. The fish is frying. I mean, this is home.
Good fish sandwich.
Ben Chandler is going to bounce
Dylan
up.
Newman. Whoa.
Yeah, he was.
Dylan Newman just took out one of the upbacks.
We got a flag on the field. It looks like it's gonna come as either a hold against the McNamara wingman, or I think it's going to go against McNamara, but we'll see here. That flag came out by the side judge right around where the gunner was trying to make his way upfield. Either way, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs, and we'll see get a look at that offense. 9, Noah Miguel at quarterback. They're already lined up, ready to go. They know what they want to do. I got a feeling they want to get number 26 the ball early and often, and then Mustangs will be backed up here, and it is going to go against McNamara.
I don't know if you can see him. He may be coming in the right side of the screen, right about there. Edipoye. I mean, the guy just stands out.
Yeah.
At 6'7".
Yeah, that's a big target.
I mean, as a quarterback, you just look out there and you're like, can I just throw it to him every time?
And I know it can get that ball out there. This looks like almost like an old school, almost run and shoot. You got 4 wide, quick pass out to Miguel's right, and it's going to be a gain of we'll call it like maybe 5 yards.
But as a former quarterback, I love it because one, you get your first completion. It's quick, it's easy, it's a little hitch. You kind of get that little confidence. All right, you got that first jitter out of the way. Now you can kind of, focus in and hone in on the game.
And you got Lugard now working the short side of the field. We'll see what McNamara wants to do here. Second and about 4.5, 5 yards to go. And Fortin bangs his way through the middle. Short gain.
The initial hit was made by number 7, Aaron Marbury. What a nice way to fill a hole.
5'11", 200. It's third down. I don't know if he got anything on that. Fortin was met at the line of scrimmage.
Third and medium here.
Miguel to pass. He wants the sideline. And we're going to get a flag, and I think they're going to get some hands on the wide receiver.
That was a little. That was.
The problem for a corner who's guarding a 6'7" guy is there's so much Lugard to cover. I mean, and if your hands are anywhere near him, there's no way to hide it.
I talked about it. I like the call. Go to your 6'7" guy.
Yeah.
50-50 ball. He's going to come down with a majority of them, no matter how many you throw. But I'm not so sure I really agree with the call.
Sure. 1st and 10, Mustangs. Still in Mustang territory.
That close.
Jamil Bostic Jr. there, number 1 in coverage. And there's the handoff, and he's met in the backfield and dropped for a loss. And I believe that was Ronald Burke bringing Fortin down.
Aaron Marbury again on that tackle. I mean, look at this pressure. Look at this. Yep, there's Marbury. I mean, the pressure that Carroll's front four is getting right now it's unbelievable.
2nd and long for the Mustangs at the 40-yard line. 3 wide to the left. Lugard on the short side of the field. Fortin joining Miguel in the backfield. Miguel looking to run a little option. He gets man in the hole. It's a gain of maybe a half a yard. It's Cameron Williams.
And Jerry and Barry, too, in on the tackle.
Is that Cameron Williams or was that Jerry and Barry?
Jerry and Barry.
That was Jerry and Barry. I get my 6 and my 5 mixed up from the corner spot here.
Again, when the number stretches a little bit, it's hard. Not only is it hard to see.
Yeah, well, these are some big boys. They're stretching. And we got another flag. A late flag.
A sideline warning.
Yeah.
It's just a warning.
We got the get back coach. It's still 3rd and long, and they got a warning.
Impressed with Carroll's defense right off the bat, especially the run defense.
Sun comes out. We got a jump by Marbury. And that'll help the Mustangs a little bit. It's going to get him into 3rd and just about manageable. Call it maybe 3rd and about 9.5 yards.
A lot of laundry so far.
Well, they didn't bring it for nothing. Another clock stop. Referees chatting. Okay, they want to pump the clock. On the whistle, we'll get the start. Referee will keep it on the field for this play, I bet. Yeah, he's telling Nainoa, I got you. That's not uncommon. High school football, good communication between the referee and the quarterback. Miguel is going to have to throw. Looks to his left, comes back out to his right. He's still got some time. Puts the ball in the air. He's going deep.
He had somebody.
Ben Chandler was running down, and he got turned around, but he was running free.
Well, it was a little bit of a scramble drill at the end. It looked like he was going to pull it and run the ball, but at the last second, Chandler was able to just shake loose, and he took a shot, just overshot him.
The thing about Nainoa
would have been a touchdown if he was able to connect.
He keeps plays alive. He's he's good. He's got the legs. He can put it on the ground. But he's keeping play long enough, and these wide receivers, I think there's still some getting used to whenever you have a quarterback who can literally keep a play alive to the last second. Punt is up. It's away. It's a good one. And it's going to bounce McNamara's way, and that's going to go inside the 10. And it'll be touchdown at the 6-yard line, and that's where the Carroll Lions will start. And that's exactly where we're going to have a great look down the line of scrimmage on this one.
I'm right on the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
So forgive us if it's all the way down at the other end. It's going to be really hard to see numbers.
Yeah, we got the best vantage point right here. But we're right here next to the Mustang statue, next to the Alumni Pavilion.
I'm telling you, man, this is a great atmosphere to watch a football game. Great atmosphere. It's a lot of new looks. The pavilion's new. The Alumni Pavilion's new, which is great. The old look of the tailgaters.
The tailgate
hill. The
hill.
new look of this football team, though, Ken, just watching them in warm-ups. What a difference a year makes. This team has a look for McNamara that I haven't seen in a long time. Good athletes, good size.
The size is noticeable. McNamara has definitely bumped up the size. Both of these teams got some beef. As Arnold gets the ball away out into the flat. And Bostic, I think they're going to get him for a loss of 1.
That's the Holy Cross commit. I know so many guys, alum, that are going to be happy to see and root for this young man.
Holy Cross, we got a Merrimack. We talked
north.
about a Merrimack guy on Cam Williams. But I tell you what, schools like them, they know what conference to go to find players.
Merrimack in particular,
yep.
I think we talked about this with Coach Quick on the call. Merrimack is not going to get your 4-star, 5-star, maybe even 3-stars, but they'll take those 2, 3-star players from the WCAC because they know they're ball players.
And that ball is on the ground. It's picked up by the Mustangs.
And he's going to get in.
Now the referee, there's a signal. It's a McNamara Mustangs touchdown, as I believe Jaden Heyman, McNamara linebacker.
You're right.
Picks the ball up, scoop and score.
The first big play of the game. And Carroll, it's just a late handoff.
Yeah, late decision.
Exchange, and then right here, look at Heyman, just pure individual will to get that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they almost went with the old Philadelphia Eagles rugby push plays.
They little swinging gate here, Ken.
Got their way in. Yeah, we'll see what they call it to, but they got the kicker in, and they're going to go with it. And here he comes. And met at the goal line, and he extends the ball up and over the plane. I believe we're going to get a signal, but they're saying no, he didn't get it.
No, he didn't get it across. It looked like he reached it across.
I think that was DeQuan Thomas.
I don't know if we've got a good angle on that or not.
Well, you know what? It was
Luke David down on the camera right there.
We'll see. Again, we're sitting right here on the goal line. We know he extended the arm. But the Carroll defense, they met him at the 1.5-yard line, and progress was absolutely stopped. So 6-0, Mustangs over the Lions with 6 minutes and 53 seconds to go here. We're still in the first quarter, and it's a good start for the homecoming fans.
Very fortuitous opportunity for McNamara, and they capitalized on it. You get, so many times we talk about at the end of the game. Look at the turnover column. The team that has the most turnovers is usually a team that doesn't come out on top. And right now that's true for Carroll, but they got to bounce back here.
Halfway through the first quarter, Mustangs 6, Lions 0.
Keontae Glenn. I got to believe. I tell you what, pick your poison here. You got Williams and Bostic back here. I don't necessarily know if there's anybody you'd rather get the ball to. You want to actually try to get it deep. or hang it so you can get your players down there.
I mean, Bostic already has a reputation coming into the game. Williams already made his presence known on the opening kickoff, taking it across the 50. Choose your poison here.
It's going to be Williams. Back foot at the 9-yard line, and he takes off. And he's going to be met at about the 16 as a special teams unit came out with a little bit more purpose there for the Mustangs.
I'd say they made some adjustments since the last one.
I think it looked like Andrew Hicks was the first to make contact.
You can give that to the whole right side of the kickoff team, actually.
Going to be 1st and 10 for the Lions at about the, we'll call it the 17-yard line. And this matchup is a great matchup for the league, not just because you got two different divisions, facing off here, and not just because of the history, but you talk about two programs that have really put a lot of focus and emphasis on kind of restoring the programs. We had to restore the Roar down on Harewood for the last few years. I think we covered a championship by the Carroll Lions last year. McNamara looking to do something similar as Arnold hands it off inside. TK Davis.
I love talking to Coach Quick the other night. He said he wanted to put a little bit of his own culture. He wants to continue to restore the Roar, put his own culture. So let's be real. That means respect, effort, accountability, and love.
Gamble with a great throw deep, and it's defended by Jason Adams. It was a good-looking throw. He double covered. It wasn't necessarily a ball that was going to be picked off. I don't think he got it down there with some purpose, but great effort by the DB. I mean, if you're in the Washington area and you're wearing 21 in the defensive backfield, you got something going on.
Oh, yeah. I would say you have confidence.
Yes.
To start off.
It's a number. It's a highly coveted number.
Probably the number one characteristic you want in your DB.
Not to mention, we wear the colors. We call it maroon and gold at Bishop McNamara, burgundy and gold in Landover. But it's Redskins colors. 3rd and 9. Arnold back. He's under pressure right away. And I'll tell you what, Trent Taylor and Lugard, but Trent's going to get the sack.
I mean, there's a little bit of a delayed blitz by Trent Taylor. Worked to perfection. He's going to enter. There he is right there. Arnold had no time whatsoever to even see what was going on downfield.
And it's going to be punt time for Carroll. And let's see.
Williams.
That Cam Williams is going to.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
I think that's the only thing that Ronald Burke Jr. doesn't do. Oh,
well, it's a tough snap. He's going to try to get out of the end zone and run it.
Oh.
He saves a safety as the McNamara punt coverage team got back. The snap was a little bit hard to handle.
Yeah, he wasn't able to go up high and get the snap, come down and put a foot into it before McNamara was right in his face. He did help avoid a touchdown, but unfortunately, great field position for McNamara's office, starting off at the 8-yard line. So it's 1st and goal from the 8.
You would see what Coach Calhoun wants to do here. They were not able to get Fortin going on the last drive. And they got a bigger package in.
Look for the fade here.
And it's going to be Fortin lead blocking for Miguel. And he's going for the corner. He's going to get spun around and dropped. They're going to give him a 1-yard gain.
Telling you what, I don't know how much success McNamara is going to have trying to run the ball between the tackles. Carroll has done a great job early in this game.
Ronald Burke
of just shutting all that down. Looks like I think McNamara is going to have to go to the air, try to back this defense off.
Yeah, Ronald Burke's having his way for the Lions on that front.
He's coming again.
Miguel with the keeper. They had the option with Fortin. Now Noah in the end zone for a touchdown for Bishop McNamara.
That was good patience. For the first time, he didn't have to stutter step. He didn't feel like he had to cut it back inside. He just kind of stayed the course, kept that pitch relationship, and it just opened up for him.
And I tell you,
speed.
They went to the other side of the field from Ronald Burke Jr. number 2.
Again, I'd be throwing fades all day to number 8. But no, they're going to try and kick this one.
Looks like Keontae.
6'7",
Quan Thomas to hold.
6'7" on a football field looks totally different than 6'7" on a basketball field.
Kick is up, and it's good. 13-0. Mustangs over the Lions. Yeah, you talk about height. I mean, both of these teams, I mean, shoot, was just a year ago when we were talking about at least how tall is Nick Harbor? He's every bit of 6'7", 6'8". If
Nick Harbor is 6'5".
He's 6'5". Well, he looks like he's 7'5", and the way he flies. And that, you know, you talk about some tough players to replace. Nick Harbor is irreplaceable.
You don't replace him at all.
You know, if Arnold Kijambo,
you put the next best guy you can out there, who's probably just a great football player. Don't get me wrong, but Nicholas Harbor had special talents, special abilities.
Yeah, Kyrie Wynn, the senior wide receiver.
He'll get his time down in South Carolina. Don't you worry. Don't be impatient, everybody. He'll be there.
It's so weird to watch Nick Harbor when you see him in track meets. He's so tall. He's so much taller than the other average track players. As Carroll fields it inside the 20. And they'll start with field position at about the 26, 27-yard line.
Now, Carroll,
Mark Butler Jr., we'll say he's a sophomore wide receiver on the return. What do you got, T?
Carroll's offense, they've got to respond here. They've made a bunch of mistakes, 2 in particular that have resulted in 13 points. There was the fumble in the pass series, and then the punt that they weren't able to get off that had the 8-yard short field. So Carroll's got to do something. They also have to have, if no points, you have to have a sustained drive. Give your defense a little bit of break here.
We've got a new quarterback in for Carroll, Sante Batiste. He'll pitch it, and TK Davis has nowhere to go. And Lugard. Lugard and Dillon in the backfield. And it's just tough. The Carroll Lions have been going in the wrong direction here on offense here in the first quarter. We got 4.5 minutes to go.
And I wonder if Arnold got a little dinged up on that last series. I don't see him even close to the offensive coaches right now.
Yeah, we'll keep our eye on that. 2nd and long. Swing pass out. Lugard almost catches it. He gets his paws on it. They were looking to swing that pass out, I believe, to Cam Williams.
That's his length. I mean, again, we're talking about it. I mean, it makes a big difference on a football field. Look at this. He's getting engaged right there, and he just puts that long arm up.
That's the basketball player.
I mean, most of the time you look at a quarterback, say you got to be a better athlete than that guy. But when that guy is the biggest thing you've ever seen on the end of the line and has a reach like that, I mean, I don't know how you throw around it.
It's a great idea, though, for the Lions to use the pass rush of the Mustangs against them a little bit and get Cam Williams in some space. But you got to clear the great wall of Lugard first. 3rd and 15. Lugard gets it, and he knocks that pass down.
It's almost unfair.
Asante, he stood in there.
Bit. Carroll just not able to find.
And I believe Asante is a freshman, T. He's class of 27. I'll tell you what, he looks good for a freshman quarterback in this league. Just get another couple seconds.
That's an unenviable position to be in.
Yep.
As a freshman.
And by the way,
T, like that.
I got Arnold Kijambo walking around on the sidelines, picking up his teammates. Good snap, punts away, good punt. It's going to get a Carroll bounce. It's going to get a lot of Carroll bounces.
Well, they need every break they can get right now. Try to back this Mustang offense up, keep them out of the end zone, because you do not want to go down 3 scores.
Hey, and if you're
in the first quarter,
if you're Coach Quick and the Lions, the coaching staff, you tell yourself the McNamara offense really hasn't gotten you. Both of these scores by the Mustangs have been.
They have roughly 10 yards.
it's so you
Total offense. Maybe
you
20.
execute the punt. You get the snap and you get the punt away and you get your defense on the field. You got to think to yourself, it's one step at a time. Yeah, McNamara's offense has to show him. Charles Fortin, tough run inside.
Probably the best run of the day.
And that's Arnold Kijamble,
touchdown.
the quarterback, the tackling beast, bringing the Thunder from Canada down. It's going to be second and about 5.
There's Arnold out there as the linebacker.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they're just giving him some fresh legs because they need him on defense more right now.
Yeah, he's a stud. He's now here he is
Here
again.
he is.
We got a flag. I don't know.
Again, I don't
we
know.
couldn't see
He
the
was in play.
sidelines. Yeah, it was.
He was in play.
You never know if they got a face mask or something. We'll see what they call.
No. I might get a call from the ref's wife here if I keep disagreeing with their calls. No offense. It's not personal.
It's not. Well, it was a personal foul. Just a personal.
That part was personal.
That was personal.
I'm not being personal.
We're not taking it personal. 15 yards. And again, 15 yards for an offense. Again, as a defense, you had McNamara in a third down situation.
Yeah.
And you let him off. So Miguel to pass. He wants it all. He's going deep. He's got a man. And I'll tell you what, that was really good coverage.
I don't know. I mean, you got to let some hand finding. There was just as much on the offensive side as there was on the defense.
Bryson Shelton from McNamara covered by DeMille Bostic. Yeah, we had front row seat to that one, and we got holding.
I don't know. Do you disagree?
I think
with
we
me?
got no. I didn't like the pass interference call. It's going to be an offsetting foul though because we had holding on the Mustangs.
Oh, it's a do-over.
So we're gonna get a do-over because it's always because both of those penalties occurred during the play. It'll be 1st and 10. I didn't like the pass interference call.
No, I like the do-over. The do-over's better.
Yeah, do-over's better. No, DeMille Bostic is. If you watch him play, he knows what he's doing. He's doing just fine out there.
I mean, it's not any contact is an interference call. It has to
pitch out to Fort, and he's got some space, and he sheds the first tackler. He gets around the corner, and he's brought down at about the 25-yard line. Actually, they're going to call him out at the 30. That's the first big run of the day for the French Canadian. I wonder if he talks trash in French on the field. That's going to be we have to learn that.
Oui.
Oui.
That's the extent of my French, by the way. I had bonjour. I'm sorry, I can say bonjour.
Don't forget bonjour.
Yeah. And I can sing Frere Jacques, but you don't want me to.
We prefer you didn't. 1st and 10. Mustangs at the Carroll 30, up 13 points with 3 to go in the first. They're going deep to Lugard. And another play with great coverage by Bostic.
Now, that was a heck of a play by Bostic.
Yeah.
He's given up. We don't have.
I mean, he's
Carroll's
6 foot.
numbers,
DeMille's a 6 foot in the program, so he's given up at least 7 or 8 inches to the big man off the hardwood. I mean, and Bostic was there, and he made the play. But to your point, Kev, probably take that. What did I said Kev, didn't I? To your point, you probably attempt that play at will. And here's a swing pass out. And what a hit. A play ender.
TJ
Zach
Chambliss.
Butler. Yeah, that's right. TJ Chambliss. And he got met by Daniel Williams.
Nice little running back screen. He had a couple blockers out in front of him. They pick up a huge first down.
But you said it, they weren't having a lot of luck inside. And we see it,
I think they got to do more of that.
Get the ball outside quickly.
Or
outside the hash.
It would behoove them to do more of that.
We're all about behooving. There's the pitch. Charles Fortin, he bobbles it. And he'll be dropped for a loss. And it'll be 2nd and about 13.
Williams and Marbury getting a tackle for loss.
Yeah, they sniffed that one out right away. There's a lot of speed on the field. Speed to the edge on that Carroll Lions defense.
And they're right at about the distance for McNamara's kicker. That's about as far as he can kick when it would be about a 38-yarder right now.
I think we're going to get a false start by Lugard. Number 8, that'll back up the Mustang offense some more, call it maybe a 2nd and 18.
And here's why I bring that point up. Now they are going to be outside of field goal range. So, again, Carroll positioning themselves to be able to make a big play that goes in their favor. They've got to tighten it up here at 2nd and 20. It's about maybe 2nd and 19. Probably
Miguel.
4-down territory for him at this point.
Miguel works to his right. He's going to keep it, and he is dropped, and that'll be a loss. It'll be 3rd and longer for the Mustang offense. Yeah, we always watch the kickers when they're lining up kicks in the pregame to get a sense of distance. And both kickers for McNamara were getting it between the uprights.
Tapped out at about 38, 39.
Yeah, right inside that 40-yard number. It looked like a comfort level. You're sitting just on the outside of that here as running back Lawrence Washington checks in for McNamara. We got a timeout on the field for McNamara as they will talk about this. And T, I gotta tell you, so you got 13-point lead with under a minute to go in the first, and there's not a whole lot of 3rd and 20 plays, but if you can get yourself 7 or 8 yards and give your kicker a chance, those are valuable points.
Yeah, no, if you're Miguel right now and you're the coach, you're telling him, listen, you don't have to go for it all here.
That's right.
Just we'll be okay if you can get it, within field goal range. We're up 13-0. Padding on another 3 points or having an opportunity to pad on 3 more points is much better than trying to go for it all, not making it work, and now you have to make the decision to go for it on 4th down and forever, as opposed to, if you get it close enough, maybe you do decide to go for it on 4th down and try to pick up the 1st down. Because you're up 13-0 right now and you're kind of in control of the game, or you can make that field goal and pad your lead a little bit.
Lions have been pushing McNamara around on this drive. Knocked him back considerably, and so they got a little bit of confidence coming in.
If I was Carroll, I would bring the heat.
This is
right
the blitz.
Here.
This is whatever blitz you got.
Because the more you lay back, the more you give them an opportunity to at least get into field goal range. You bring the heat, which they're not showing right now.
3 down linemen, and they're going to bring 3 and guard the rest. And I tell you what, they're getting pressure from 3. Miguel, and he's going to pass. It's going to go right through the hands.
Wow.
Looked like Mason Samuels out there on the outside, if I'm not mistaken.
How about that push from the first 3? I mean, they did not have to bring the blitz to get him out there. And they had an opportunity to make a pretty good play and put themselves in position to maybe kick it, but now forced with 4th and about 19. They got to go for it because I don't think they can kick it.
No, they're not bringing in the kicker, and that was Gabriel or Huanga. I mean, the guy just absolutely blew up the McNamara inside lineman. He almost made like a TJ Watt, Bosa type sack. He was almost sacked the quarterback while he was being blocked.
He's quick off the ball, too.
Miguel going to the back of the end zone. Another pass to Lugard up high, and that's picked off. That ball is picked off.
Yep.
DeMille Bostic comes down with it. He gets a foot in, and it'll be Carroll ball. And I'll tell you what, we don't want to tell DeMille Bostic this because the interceptions are fun, but they would have had better field position if he didn't catch it. But you always intercepted, right?
It's a gray area. It's a gray area.
Tough.
You want to get the stat. You want to be able to tell Adepoye, hey man, I got one on you. I got to be able to tell Miguel, I got one on you. I know Kevin Ricka doesn't let a day go by to not remind me he got one on me. So.
Yeah, well, he doesn't remember a lot of things, but he does remember that. Carroll offense, and then we're going to get we got Asante, Batiste.
They've got to be keeping Arnold more fresh for defense right now.
Under center, handoff, inside give, and it'll be a short gain. I mean, a half a yard as TK Davis for the Lions.
Really impressed with the defensive lines for both teams and the amount of impact they're having on this game right now.
I believe that's going to do it here for the first quarter, as Carroll looks like they're content to let the clock wind down. And that'll do it after 1 quarter of play. Homecoming at Bishop McNamara High School. Forestville, Maryland, McNamara 13, Archbishop Carroll 0. We're going to take this opportunity to bring on a very special guest, the quarterback of the 1973 city title team, but perhaps more importantly, my religion teacher from my days here at Bishop McNamara, Mr. Andy Turner. Thank you so much for coming on with us today.
Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate the honor of being here and enjoying the football game here today.
So, Mr. Turner, as I'll call you forever, I want to point out that you're still in the league teaching. You're down on I Street at Gonzaga.
Yes.
We got a lot of brothers who've come out of that fine institution, and I know you're carrying on the legacy of teaching all the I don't even know what story to start with, but how about this? Talk to me a little bit about seeing the guys. You know, your teammates. When I was here and ever since, the 1973 team is legendary to us, the Mustang community. And the guys are in there. I saw some pictures of some people that were being held. I mean, what was it like kind of being back together with them?
Oh, it was fantastic. We got together last night and had a wonderful meal. And, for many of us, we haven't seen each other since playing days. And getting together was fantastic, and reliving a lot of the old memories was precious. I don't know if people knew this, but it was our first year in the Catholic League, 1973, and we knew we had a good group of guys, and we were dedicated, worked hard, and ended up going undefeated, and got to play in the city championship game at RFK Stadium and beat Anacostia. So just a ton of fabulous memories with some great guys. And I'm just very thankful that we were able to get together today and yesterday.
Well, it's great to have you back on campus. It's great to be back on campus. It looks great.
Fantastic.
It's such a great atmosphere, and of course, the home team. After 1 quarter of play, tell me a little bit about what you saw in the first quarter from the Lions and the Mustangs.
Well, the game's changed a lot since. We were the old. Run the ball 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and it was literally a dusty football field we played on back then. So now we see kids flying all over the field, a lot of passing and turf fields. So it's changed, and but it's impressive, a lot of fun to watch, and McNamara's on a nice ride, 5-0, and looking pretty good here in the first half.
We're not talking leather helmet era, though.
No, not that far back, thank God.
Incomplete pass out to the left side. So they were looking for Deshaun Williams, the freshman wideout. It'll bring up, I believe, 4th down for Carroll. And their offense, they'll continue to try some things. Mr. Turner, we're talking about the McNamara, the two defenses. I mean, McNamara obviously was able to move the ball a little bit on offense that last drive of the first quarter. But for the most part, if you're coaching over on the Carroll sideline, you got to be thinking to yourself, we've done a good job with the McNamara against the McNamara offense. It's really the mistakes by the Carroll Lions that cost them so big over here in the end zone with the bad snap on the punt and the fumble with the scoop and score.
Yeah, a couple of penalties hurt as well, but they're hanging in there. Maybe they can get it together in the second half.
So I assume at Gonzaga this week they'll be honoring the McNamara 73 city title team all week on I Street.
They will, only in my classroom though.
I love it.
And at the lunch table, I like to brag about it every now and then to some of my colleagues who played on some championship teams at Gonzaga. So anyway, we like to level the playing field, so to speak.
And tell me about the farm.
Farm's going well.
Yep.
I no longer raise produce and sell it at farmers markets. It's just a small garden, and we put 40 acres into hay. So my brother-in-law raises the hay crop for the
40
cattle.
acres is a garden?
Well, it used to be. We had a truck farm and sold tons of produce every summer at the farmers markets here in D.C.
I make sure everyone knows that I was a farmhand and the worst farmhand. I didn't know what I was doing.
You were just trying to get a better grade in religion is what you're doing.
It wasn't working. It wasn't working. I didn't have what it took. in that heat picking tomatoes. I was a tomato picker.
That's right.
And I was not a good tomato picker. But it was everything about. I just want to tell you, Mr. Turner, how much you continue to mean to the guys you taught. I'm sure it's the same for the Gonzaga folks as well. I tell my son, who's now at St. John's, stories about sitting in your class. You're still the only teacher that ever gave me detention, which we don't have to go all the way down there. Really, to me, I got to take you when we were still an all-guys school, and it was a little bit of a different environment. And I know they're getting it at Gonzaga with you now, but the ability to, when it was all guys, it was great. When we went co-ed and the Lorraine girls came over, what a great atmosphere. We got the Lorraine Science and Tech Center here now. It's such a testament to the things that the nuns and the fine people who ran that amazing institution where my mom graduated.
Right.
So everything has come together in such an amazing way here on campus. But it for me, sitting in your class, it still rings true. It still is super meaningful, and I want to thank you, and on behalf of so many guys who had the chance to sit in that classroom.
Well, you're welcome. It's quite an honor to continue to be teaching, and Gonzaga's been fantastic, but I'll never forget my 17 years here at McNamara.
How do I have more silver hairs than you, by the way? That's not fair. That's amazing.
He prays a lot more than you do.
He prays a lot more. I mean, I don't know, but it's something. As we see the McNamara offense back at work, we got second and short here. There's Noah and Charles Fortin line up in the backfield with 3 wide to the right. See what Coach Calhoun draws up, and this is the big man Fortin up the middle. Now you watch the way Charles runs. He is a bruiser. He brings the pain, but I'll tell you, those Carroll linebackers.
Jerem Berry, just laid the wood.
Yes.
To think they're going to be doing this for 4 quarters, a lot of these guys going 2 ways, and there's Charles again, and he turns it upfield on a cutback, puts his foot in the turf, and he's going to have a gainer here for the Mustangs, and that's going to be, I believe they're going to give him another first down, move the chains again. And now the Mustangs are on the move. 11 minutes to go here in the first half. And they're going to feed him. And it's going to be a team tackle. Bringing the big guy down from Canada, Mr. Turner, that is, he's got the shirt on underneath that says, "I'm big in Canada."
Oh, wow.
And we're wondering if he talks trash in French. We're pretty sure that he does. But we'll see if Coach Calhoun, if this is going to be an all Fortin drive, and so far it is. And this time, he'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. There's only so many times in a row, and that was, we talk about number 8, Arnold Key-Jamble for Carroll. The guy led PG County in tackles last year, Mr. Turner.
Oh.
He shows up to Carroll, and they realize the guy's got a gun attached to his shoulder, and so he's been their quarterback this year. They got a couple other kids who can sling it as well.
Wow.
But number 8 is a player down there on Harewood. When you played Carroll, was that down on Turkey Thicket, or did?
Actually, we played Carroll. It was the last game of the season.
McNamara with a breakaway. That's a touchdown.
Wow.
As Lawrence Washington scoots around the left side. And that's the first big play from this McNamara Mustangs offense. Mr. Turner, where was that you said they played?
We ended up playing Carroll at McNamara. It was the last game of the regular season. Both teams were undefeated, so a big game. Moss Collins was the legendary Carroll coach at the time. And it was brutally cold that late November day, and we ended up winning 14-6, I think. And it was a lot of fun. And then that enabled us to play in the city championship game against Anacostia.
As we're getting ready to watch the extra point here, just talk. You mentioned Coach Moss Collins, right? Mm-hmm. You've been a part of this conference for a very long time in several different roles. Just talk about your involvement and why you're still involved in this conference and with these schools.
I'd love to. I was born in D.C., actually, at the old Sibley Hospital, a block and a half from Gonzaga. And so I'm a native. And I grew up with the Catholic parochial school, St. Philip's, Camp Springs. And in my neighborhood, I had older kids going to Gonzaga, DeMatha, St. John's, Carroll. And then when I got a little older, McNamara opened up, so it was a new kid on the block, so to speak. And I ended up going there because it was closer and convenient. But anyway, I just loved, I had a passion for the Catholic League in the schools. Moss Collins with football. We had Joe Gallagher with football and basketball. Of course, Morgan over at DeMatha with his legacy. And I had a lot of friends playing at DeMatha. So it was just, I don't know. I don't have the time to go into just my love for this league. And I don't know if Tim realizes this, but I actually taught 1 year at DeMatha before I ended up at Gonzaga. So I got to know Bill McGregor and his staff very well, and I was privileged to teach some fine young men and get to know the inner workings of DeMatha High School, which was a joy. John Moylan was just an outstanding headmaster or principal to work for. But
shout out to Tommy Ponton.
Oh, Ponton, great guy, yeah. And Dan McMahon, the current principal, he and I worked together. Just some wonderful people. But the league itself was just, I don't know, it's sort of like on the college level, the Big Ten. It just has so much rich tradition. And McNamara joined the league our very first year. I was a senior. It was just like, wow, we're a part of something really special. And something as a kid I always wanted to be a part of, so it happened, and then we had that magical season.
My dad graduated in '71. Talked about that field. You said it was cold. It was a very unforgiving ash field, and it was pretty much no grass by like mid-September, early September. It was the grass was gone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just marching up and down the middle of the field. So. Well, Mr. Turner, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for everything that you do. First, and for your love of this conference, because that's why we're here.
Yeah.
We're missing our brother in action today, Kevin Ricka. He's coaching a 13 and under, group, and so
He's St. John's, and that's the only place you haven't had any influence. So you go ahead and you can.
I'm smart. I avoid the cadets there. Anyway, thank you guys for what you do. We really enjoy it, and your dedication to the conference is greatly appreciated by thousands of Washingtonians. God bless.
And we'll be there for the St. John's Gonzaga game on I Street to close the season out. So we'll look forward to seeing you there.
Okay.
Thanks, Mr. Turner.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good to see you.
All right, love you, man. Mr. Turner, gosh, I know there's a lot of McNamara alums out there remembering sitting in that class. You talk about a no-nonsense guy who's beloved for being a no-nonsense guy, and at the end of the day, there was, when you have that mix of somebody who's, quote-unquote no-nonsense, but everything he does makes you laugh.
Yeah, I can see it.
Exactly, and you don't escape without learning something. He's a representative of so many teachers in this conference and the coaches, and he has been a fine coach. In fact, I don't think he's ever lost coaching football in this league at the freshman level. But so many of the coaches we talk about, everything starts and ends with these teachers and these coaches, and it doesn't get any better as the Carroll Lions go to work, and that's a great grab.
Darren Williams on the grab.
Man, he reached his arms out and got a hold of that.
There he is, Darren Williams.
First
nice
down
just
for the Lions.
Play. Again, it was a quick, get it out of the quarterback's hands, get it in the hands of a playmaker, and get some positive yardage.
Again, nice pass.
And
he's got some room to run. Get the ball in the hands of guys like DeMille Bostic.
Just one little bit of success, though, right? I mean, it gives the quarterback a little confidence. It gives the team a little bit of confidence. Now they've got two positive plays back-to-back, and they got a little bit of a drive moving here.
Arnold swinging out again, and it's going to come just a little short of the intended receiver, Darnell Williams.
Carroll's offense right now sees an opportunity to do a little over-under in the flat out here, and the quarterback just gets to see it develop, and then he's going to the flat right now because the guy on the outside is clearing it out, and it's opening up a good window for the quarterback and the receiver to connect. They just weren't able to connect on that last one.
2nd and 10, 8.5 minutes to go in the first half. The Mustangs 20-0 lead. We hope everybody was okay with a little diversion there, a little extra content from a member of a hallowed team here at McNamara's. Arnold looking to throw, and he's going to pitch it out. And I'll tell you what, that's a forward pass. He threw it underhanded, but it was still a forward pass, right?
It was a forward pass. He threw it underhanded. It went forward.
There was a receiver in the area. I'm interested to see what the penalty is.
What the penalty is.
It looks like there was an ineligible player downfield. We'll see what they call it. He gave this one to the.
That would be a clip, I think.
Okay.
Block in the back or something. We'll see.
All right, we're waiting on the signal from the referee. And it's going to go against Carroll.
Ineligible receiver downfield is the signal he gave.
I thought so. We'll see. They're going to march him back and see. It looks like that's going to be 10-yard backup here for the Lions.
Yeah, I can help. Yep, I will.
And that, as they set up here 3rd and long, both of these offenses have put themselves in some incredibly difficult situations. And I know Coach Quick, he talked about the joy of being an offensive coordinator, drawing up offenses and calling plays. Coach Calhoun, all the way from Alabama, bringing his offensive stylings. He just 3rd and 20. There just ain't a lot of plays that are.
There's no magical plays.
Yeah. Arnold in the backfield. He's got 4 wide receivers. He's going to get it out quick.
What a pass. What a catch.
Cam Williams. And that's a big gainer. It's going to bring up 4th down, and I'm going to call it about 4th and 7 or 8 maybe. I mean, that was.
Yeah, but it's manageable now. I mean, what a great play to give yourself an opportunity to move the sticks.
Quick snap. Now, they were not set on the line. Arnold didn't look over to his right as the wide receivers weren't set. I believe they're going to get false start, motion, all of it. And that's a killer because at 4th and 6, James was throwing with some confidence right now to his receivers.
This is what Coach Quick was talking about when he says, he had to take over in July and get things going. He was behind the ball, right? I mean, things like this, you're going to see some sloppiness, I guess, just because he hasn't been able to fully put his whole playbook together. He says we're just hitting a groove now, meaning, it takes a while to work together to get that cohesion. And I think that Carroll, because they started so late with the change at the helm, that there's still some kinks that they're working out. It's just unfortunate that in this game, some of the mistakes that they're making have cost them huge, which is why they're down 20-0 right now.
You just can't help. I know if Kevin was here, he would be marveling as well when you see number 8 on defense for Carroll laying the wood and then showing up to play quarterback on the offensive side. And he's putting the ball on the spot, and here he is again right down the middle of the field, and that ball is picked off. DeMille Bostic didn't turn around to look. Now, he was running free down the seam, and Arnold saw that. Bostic never turned his head, and the ball fell in to the arms. I thought that was Isaiah Washington, but it wasn't. I didn't get the number on that. What a play. Let's see, I don't know if we can get a replay on that, but wow. Big turnover.
Yeah, he tried to go to the seam, but, McNamara sort of staying home this time and breaking on the ball with a good break. The ball just fell a little short, and McNamara able to get the ball on turnover downs.
And that's a big turnover, too, because Carroll was moving the ball.
They were. They had their first success on offense.
They're getting the ball out of his hands quick.
They need to learn what was being successful and go back to it the next time they have the ball.
Miguel with a handoff. Throwing up the middle, and there's KJ, right away, wrapping up the ball carrier.
How many quarterbacks are you going to see make a tackle like that?
Got a Mustang player on the field. I mean, 0. Team one that I know of.
I played quarterback. I played quarterback and middle linebacker in youth ball, But that was youth ball. This is big boy ball, and for him to be able to do that, absolutely tremendous athlete, tough.
It's fun.
Tough athlete.
It's so fun. Think about how angry you get playing quarterback, and you just got to stand there and take the hits from the defenders, and to be able to have that outlet to turn around and play middle linebacker on the next series and let it go.
You know how much I would have given to be able to play defense after I throw a pick?
Exactly. Get a look at the injured player for the Mustangs. I can't get a number. It looks like maybe Bryson Shelton walking under his own power off the field, and that's good. And it'll be 2nd and 7 as Lawrence Washington on that last play was able to scoot forward for some Mustang yardage. Now Noah waits the snap. Handoff again, up the middle. Goes Lawrence Washington. Another gainer. It's going to bring up 3rd and short. McNamara's gone to the run game here.
Yeah, I want to eat a little bit of
For the
clock.
second quarter.
You got the lead. You want to eat up some clock. You want to see that time just tick away because you've got a very comfortable lead at this point.
2 yards to go here to get a first down. Again, with the give.
Ooh.
I don't think.
That's going to be close.
I don't know that he got
They
it.
may give it to him. Yep.
They're giving him the signal. He just snuck
barely
over the line to gain.
And that's just been the day for Carroll right now. They're just barely, they start getting a little momentum on offense and just couldn't get it done. And right here they have almost were able to stop McNamara and they just couldn't get it done. You talk about a game of inches. Carroll's learning a hard lesson in that today.
Charles Fortin back in, and he'll get the carry. He's going to push it out to the left. And Ronald Burke gets his hands on him.
All right, there you go. You win first down as a defense. You get them off schedule just a little bit. Can they hold on here?
Jerry and Barry, Aaron Marbury, they all got a piece of that one. 2nd and 8. To throw, Miguel. He's got a man out wide, and it's broken up. Cam Williams, I believe. Intended receiver. Looked like Mason Samuels on the outside. And that'll bring up 3rd down and long here. 3rd and 9, though, a lot better than 3rd and 20. Let's see what Miguel can put together here. Miguel with a keeper. He points upfield, and he'll get dropped after a short gain, and it will be 4th down.
And there that time, Carroll finally able to sort of, put some punctuation at the end of it and hold them off. It looks like they may go for this on 4th down, though.
They're keeping the offense on the field. It's
They
4th
are.
and about 4 yards.
This is risky only because if you don't make it, okay.
The guy holding the stick was showing a 3. Then they showed a 4. They got to the right formation. Now I'll tell you what. There's no punter.
There's no punter.
Okay, there we go.
Interesting.
Bold strategy, Cotton.
They faked us out. I knew this play clock was going to come into play.
That's going to be a delay of game.
It was the most entertaining delay of game
I don't think we were
I've ever had.
expecting that. All right, you give Carroll a little bit of a break there. Cam Williams on his side of the 50, right around the 40, 41-yard line. We'll see what kind of foot Keontae Glenn can get on this.
Oh,
Carroll gets to the backfield. They might have gotten a piece of that. But that ball's going to run Mustang way and settle just near that 30-yard. Like they did on the last drive. It's Asante handoff, inside give.
Bostic.
And a gainer. I think that was TK Davis.
Yeah, you're right.
Second down.
They go back at it again. Not as much success that last time.
Brings up 3rd and short, though. And, you know, you can see what Coach Quick has been trying to do here on the last series of offensive plays. Last drive into this drive. A little more purpose. Both quarterbacks executing. Asante looking to throw. Out to his left. And that is a great catch. I think that's Cam Williams on the outside. That'll be a first down for the Carroll Lions.
That pass reminiscent of another guy who used to be in town here, Taylor Heineke. Asante just doesn't, as a freshman, doesn't have the ability to whip it out there, but you see he's got the good footsteps. He's got a pretty good motion, and with age and getting into the weight room, that ball is going to come out with a little bit more fire. But it was enough to get a first down there.
He's also getting coached up by someone near and dear to the league's heart. Flag down. The freshman pumps, and he puts it in the air. And there's, I mean, once again, it's like a T-shirt gun loaded with flags on this play. We'll see how they sort this one out.
Yeah, well, you referenced it. Al Clark, the 1992 season All-Met, stole it from me. At least I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah.
I have the microphone. He doesn't.
That's right.
But he is back at his alma mater.
He looks
Al
great
Clark
in green.
And we went head to head back in the day. But what a great player. Went on to Virginia Tech, had a great career there. Played in arena ball quite a bit, and has become a good friend of mine. He and I didn't know each other at all back in high school. We didn't want to talk to each other back then. But it's great to become good friends with him now, and we get to talk about back in the day. But he's doing a great job of mentoring these quarterbacks, and they're going to benefit from it, from a guy who's been through so much and had such a stellar career himself. Might as well talk about our other good buddy, Kevin Lewis.
That's right.
Who was
Naval Academy.
on the same 92 team, went to the Naval Academy, safety. He's helping out on the defense. It's just great to see the alum, too, come back to their alma maters and be a part of it all.
Quarterback moving to his right, throwing back to his left. Ball carrier drop quick, fast, and in a hurry by Jalen Higginbotham.
That's a name.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a
game. Love to have called out.
They were hoping that Jalen would have been sleeping at the wheel there, because Asante ran the play. He got out quick to his right side and threw it back, but there was nothing there. Asante throwing out quick to Bostic. We got a flag down.
Unfortunately, I think it's going to probably be holding.
It's in the area of holding. Mustang on the ground looks like a Javaris Lassiter.
You know, talking about those coaches, we had a chance to talk with Al Clark a couple minutes before the game, and he said the only thing that really is hurting this Carroll team right now is the youth. They're so young. You know, they're just trying to figure out high school, much less how to play in a conference like the WCAC. So, you know, the mistakes I think we're seeing out here today is indicative of what Al was saying, is that this is a young team making young mistakes. You know, once they can get over that, they have the talent. They have, you know, the ability to be a pretty good team. And I think Coach Quick, as he says, we're hitting our groove. They're going to have some setbacks, but they're also going to have some successes. And they're just trying to find out right now, especially on the offensive side of the ball, how to capitalize on the successes. Get you know, once you get one, let's get two, and once you get two, let's get three. They just haven't been able to string those types of successes together yet.
Penalty's going to be on Bishop McNamara, as it looks like illegal hands to the face, and it's going to give Carroll back a lot of good yards.
That helps.
Be second in about 5. But the other thing about Carroll, you talk about the inexperience and the youth, and Al talked about it. They got a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores on that squad. They've only played 3 games.
Yeah.
You know, McNamara. This is McNamara's 6th game. So many teams, you know, you're basically in October. A lot of these guys start up in late August. You're looking at least 4 or 5 games for most teams. So Carroll, a bit of a disadvantage. We've had some terrible weather. McNamara got bit a little bit by that. I think they had a game, Riverdale Baptist, that was real weird. It was funny talking to Coach Calhoun about that, T. They came out, both teams got 1 series on Saturday. They finished the game on Sunday, and he said it was obvious that both teams went to work. He said, I've never dissected the film. They dissected the film of one drive, and it became like a 14-10, I believe, 17-14, something like that, low-scoring game. But he said you got the flavor of each other after one drive each. Then they came back the next day and beat each other up. And there's the keepers of Asante. Ducks the hit from Dylan Newman.
I thought maybe there was a personal foul going to come at the end of that, but they didn't.
First down
nice
for Carroll.
Play.
As the sun comes out, we got some clouds in the sky, but I'm not predicting any rain, personally, anyways. I don't know about real deal seal. Ball in the air, and that's a 50-50 ball. It looks like the McNamara Mustangs got it.
There's a flag on the field. There is a flag on the field.
Jalen Higginbotham having a series. Now we're going to see what the call is, but that ball was put in the air.
It's going to be a pass interference, but I don't know if it's going to be against offense or defense.
Everyone's waiting with bated breath.
On the
and
defense.
It's going to be pass interference on the defense.
Wow.
And Higginbotham is distraught. And the Lions, really, you know, they've been moving the ball, and they've been getting benefit of some big mistakes here by the Mustang defense.
Well, they needed it, and they're going to need some points to get on the board here. They do not have the ball coming out of the break. It's going to be McNamara's ball, so that's how it's even more important for Carroll to somehow come out of this drive, or at least maybe milk the rest of this 135 off and come out with some points going into halftime.
1.5 minutes to go here. Asante. We're going to throw a flag thrown right away. That ball is loose, and it looks like it's going to be covered up by a gold helmet.
Who is that jumped on it? 53 for Carroll.
Makai Moore.
What heads-up play by
junior.
Makai Moore.
And we'll see what the flag is. That flag came out at the snap.
Again, see, Kevin. I mean, Ken, it's
going to be against
like
Carroll.
Carroll's got some momentum, right? They're getting it going, and then they just come up short. They you know, a hiccup here, a mistake there, throws them off, and they're just not able to capitalize on it. Now, this isn't a huge mistake. It's going to be 1st and 15, so it's manageable.
And you get,
but they can't afford any more mistakes here.
Arnold back in the game for the Lions as the middle linebacker got a little bit of a blow. That ball's going to be intercepted out of the air. Going back the other way is Gianna Davis.
Oh.
And he's going to be chased, and I think he's going to be brought down by T.K. Davis.
Does that go down as one of the worst broadcaster jinxes of all time? I mean, right when they absolutely could not afford
Gianni Davis,
mistake.
a name Coach Calhoun gave us this week, someone to watch, the sophomore, and I tell you what.
Wow.
He put his hands on that ball, and it was a no-doubter. He went back the other day. Awesome hustle play by T.K. Davis, the sophomore running back for Carroll, to save that touchdown. Let's see here. 1:02 left. That's a backbreaker for Carroll. Just moving the ball. And they had the play they wanted. And once again, you could go back and watch that play, and you could see exactly what they're trying to do. And they had to beat one guy. A couple drives ago, it was Lugard getting his hands in the way. And in that case, Gianni.
And that was Asante that threw that. Was it Asante?
No, that was Arnold.
It was Arnold. Asante had the opportunity to try to throw a little, flare to a running back, and we saw Adepoye just put that huge stretched 6'7" frame arm out there and knock it down. Similar thing here, Arnold trying to get the ball just over the top, but just not able to get it over top enough. And again, a big mistake is going to really come back and really hurt this line. Ball club. Similar to last week when Kevin and I were doing the St. John's Mission Viejo game. St. John's clearly in the lead. Mission Viejo sort of trying to find their rhythm, find their groove. Right before halftime, it looked like they were going to actually put a score on the board and make it a game. And a late ball to the flat. St. John's, Abel McIntyre is able to pick it off and really pile it on right before the halftime. We're seeing somewhat of a similar scenario happening today.
Take a quick second to shout out the Osborne family, good friend of First Amendment Sports, Quinn Osborne down at William and Mary. He's been getting it on for that football team now for a few years. His brother Braylon Osborne, a gifted corner. My understanding is he was in line this year to really, probably make a mark on the conference. A 6-foot defensive back, and he rolled an ankle last week. And we wish him a quick recovery. But love me some Osbornes here in Forestville.
Q was so special to watch here.
Yeah, he was. He had a game, but that heart was amazing.
Yeah.
As Miguel dices his way in, and it looks like he will get a short gainer. But yeah, we remember number 35. Number 35 in the program, number 1 in your hearts, Quinn Osborne. Now Noah in shotgun. Charles Fortin. And he's going to get dropped, and right away you see Gabriel Orwanga, the tight end, outside linebacker, defensive end, the 6'1", 226-pound
He's no joke,
senior.
Man. He plays hard.
These guys can tackle.
Carroll's defense, for the most part, has been put in a very difficult position. Done as bad as good as you could ask them to do, having a bunch of short fields, one of them being only 8 yards.
Yep.
So Carroll's defense doing what they have to do. It's on the offensive side of the ball where Carroll's going to have to regroup and figure out a way to pile some successes on top of successes and not throw themselves off with these huge mistakes that are really causing the big story in this game.
20-point lead for the Mustangs. We're about 30 seconds away from halftime. We got the homecoming court on the field, getting ready to.
I can't wait to get to my second fish sandwich. The first one went down way too fast.
There's nothing better.
That's going to be my halftime.
We got the fresh ones,
indulgence.
Too. There's the pitch, a fake pitch. And the Noah to pass. Oh, and he had a man. I believe that was Mason Samuels. That was a nifty play, as we used to say in the 1950s and 60s. Or you did anyways, T. I wish.
Nice try. Nice try. Speaking of nice tries, that was a nice try by McNamara. But they're going to try to settle for 3, which is absolutely fine when you're up 20. But a mini victory for the Carroll Lions.
Absolutely.
Defense.
I mean, and again, T.K. Davis saving at least 4 points through sheer hustle. You say a kid's name over and over and over again when he makes a play like that. And McNamara's going to get a timeout called before some chippiness happens out there. It'll remain 4th down. Coach Calhoun just telling his kids no nonsense. get some. They want points before this half ends, one way or another.
You know, Coach Calhoun and those guys, they're not small. Look at
No.
how much Ediboye just towers over.
No, and it's a testament to, again, two guys on opposite sidelines who are trying to build something. In both cases, they're bringing just amazing athletes to these games. The difference in size on the McNamara sidelines is noticeable. Last 2 or 3 years, especially in the last 2 with Coach Calhoun, you've seen definitely bigger boys, not just on the offensive and defensive line, but, man, I tell you, like you said, the way that some of these guys stretch those jerseys, defensive backs, wide receivers, running backs.
Yeah, there was a point in time when you talk about, the days of Al Clark and Kevin Lewis and Phil Savoy and
Marvin.
Jamal Williams and Dennis, Desmond Dennis. I mean, these guys are guys that played in the league. And, they had some dogs back in the day.
Yep.
And I know they're trying so hard to get back there. And hopefully Coach Quick has an opportunity to kind of stay on it and build what he's got going on here, because I know that eventually Carroll's going to get back to that level of play.
Well, we got a play here. Quick throw out to the right. Burke.
Chandler.
I mean, that was pure, Ben Chandler trying to ATH his way across the goal line. And it was only so many lines he could get through.
But it was a chance that McNamara could take, right? It was
That's
a chance
right.
They had they could afford to take that chance right there, up 20-0. Only 16 seconds left on and they get the ball when they come out at halftime. So
all of that went into a T.
Yep.
And you again, both of these teams have guys. If Coach Quick said, if I can get the ball in the hands of Bostic, for example, and see if he can make something happen. If Coach Calhoun says, if I can get the ball in the hands of Ben Chandler on the outside and make something happen, both of these coaches would take it. And now, Carroll's got to be a little careful here. Want to get out of the shadow of the goalpost. And okay, they're running the clock. I didn't see them start to run the clock. I guess they were able to get it on the ground, and I believe that's going to do it here in the first half at Tioka Jackson Field in Forestville, Maryland. It's homecoming for the Bishop McNamara Mustangs, and they lead 20-0 over the Archbishop Carroll Lions. We will be back with second half action. We will see you then.
And that's your first half. Your Bishop McNamara Mustangs 20, Archbishop Carroll Lions 0.
High School, today we honor our 2023 Hall of Fame inductees. Our first inductee recognized today in memorial was James Belk, class of 1999. Our second honoree was Talib Zana, boys basketball, class of 2009. Also here today to walk out together are the 2008 girls WCAC championship team. Come on out, ladies. Let's get a big round of applause to our girls basketball WCAC champions 2008. Our next honoree, the class of 2004, girls basketball, Shantice Wright. Shantice was an All-American, as well as played at the University of Louisville in their Final Four team. Congratulations. And our last honoree, 2009 indoor and outdoor track champion, Monica Mason, class of 2009. A big round of applause for Jalib Zana, the family of James Belt, class of 1999. Shantice Wright, Monica Mason, and the 2008 champion girls basketball team. Congratulations. Thank you.
At this time, we are pleased to congratulate and welcome the field of members of the Bishop McNamara High School 2023 Homecoming Court. Escorted by his father, Mr. Calvin Gray Jr., please welcome class of 2027 Prince, Mr. Chase Gray. Escorted by her friends from the class of 2027, Mr. Tristan Johnson and Miss Madison Shambly. Welcome class of 2027 Princess, Miss Sion Mackey. Escorted by his parents, Mr. Orlando Boston and Miss Patricia Dowdo Boston. Lorraine, class of 1983. Celebrating her 40th reunion with her classmates today. Please welcome class of 2026 Prince, Mr. Braden Boston. Escorted by her friends from the class of 2026. Miss Nina Allen and her mother, Miss Janai Pinkney. Please welcome class of 2026 Princess, Miss Dariah Counts. Escorted by his mother, Miss Natisha Jackson. Please welcome class of 2025 Prince, Mr. Joshua Ingram II. Escorted by her mother, Miss Ursula Dogan. Please welcome class of 2025 Princess, Miss Zoe Dogan. Please welcome to the field, Miss Denise Idopaye, representing her son from the Mustang football team, class of 2024 Homecoming King, Mr. Lugar Idopaye. Escorted by her mother, Miss Frankie Eskridge. Please welcome the class of 2024 Homecoming Queen, Miss Bless Eskridge. Thank you to everyone who participated in the BMHS Homecoming tradition.
Someone to switch batteries?
Give it up for your Bishop McNamara Cheer Squad. And now, give it up for your Bishop McNamara Dance Team. For their support under the direction of head coach Danielle Williamson. Give it up for your Bishop McNamara Dance Team.
Attention, please. A Honda Civic. A Honda Civic. Maryland tags 6DM7473. You must move your car. You are parked illegally. Maryland 6DM7473. Gray Honda Civic. Please move your car or you will be moved. Thank you.
of opportunity for McNamara and hurting themselves by limiting the opportunities that they've had to put in points on the board.
Yeah, both offenses stymied for much of the first half. McNamara put together a pretty good drive there in the second quarter. Carroll Lions on defense have been absolute beastly on that defensive front. Talking about, Cam Williams, Ron Burke, Aaron Marbury, and making it real hard for the Mustang running game. But Coach Calhoun on the McNamara sideline stuck with that running game. They started working in, Lawrence Washington in there with Charles Fortin, and they were able to really move the ball with Nainoa Miguel under center for the Mustangs, making a couple timely passes. But the 20-0 doesn't necessarily tell the tale of this game. It's been a lot closer than that. And again, Carroll on offense really found some success at the late in the first half with quick throws and a couple crafty runs.
Yeah, I talked about this. On offense, Carroll has shown that from time to time they can have some success. Get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick, get it to some playmakers outside, and after that they're able to open up the running game a little bit, get a couple things going. But penalties, negative plays, and turnovers have been their Achilles heel all day long. It's really been a defensive battle for the entire first half. The 20-0, as you said, Ken, not really indicative of the game that we're seeing unfolding in front of our eyes. At least 6 of those points you cannot put on the Carroll defense because they started, McNamara started on the 8-yard line. It was first and goal on the 8 after the messed up punt where they couldn't get it off, and it was a short field. So, really, on an offensive standpoint, from a defense standpoint, Carroll is doing what they have to do defensively. The onus is going to be on the offense. Can they do enough to make enough success on offense and sustain it to put some points on the board, continue doing what they're on defense to make this a game in the second half?
Both teams back on the field, ready to rock for looks like we're about 45 seconds away from the referees getting these guys going again. McNamara gets the ball first to start the second half. We'll see what they come out of that locker room with in terms of a plan. Charles Fortin, the bruiser from Canada, wasn't always easy going for him. As big as he is and as hard as he hits, he was met in the hole quite a lot by that Carroll front. Him and Lawrence were able to find some yards on the outside at some point. In fact, Charles Fortin found some success cutting back a couple times. But the other thing we saw, in fact, with both teams was trying as hard as they could to get that ball to the outside quickly and into the hands of guys like DeMille Bostic on the Carroll sideline. They were looking for Mason Samuels for McNamara a bunch on the outside, Ben Chandler for that matter, but getting it away from these big guys in the middle.
Well, neither team really has had a whole lot of success running the ball today. Between the tackles, McNamara a little bit more than Carroll, and that's why both teams have had to try to open up the playbook a little bit, get it to the outside,
and welcome back for your second
relax
half.
a little bit. And, but if you're McNamara coming in the second half, you're going to run the ball a lot. You're going to try to get a couple more points on the board, keep that clock rolling. And if you're Carroll, you're going to have to do a little bit more getting your playmakers on the outside, involved in the game, ball out of the backfield, because McNamara's defense is doing such a great job putting the heat on, preventing Carroll from having success. As we watch 2 military jets fly over as we're supposed to
Try getting work done. Try being a high school student. Oh, I love the camera work. Being this close to Air Force Base, there's always something cool happening. Always,
that cargo plane we saw when we pulled up was no joke.
They're big boys. Those are big boys. And then when they have the air show, at some point they got to put the blinds down. You just stare out the window. There's no school happening on those days. When you're watching, these guys dog fighting in the air right above your, high school like that. There's just no chance of getting any work done that day. McNamara is set to receive. Lawrence Washington. TJ Chambliss back for the Mustangs.
Here, Carroll, do you try to do the onside? Get the ball back? Catch him off guard?
No.
Spoil the homecoming? Nope, they're going deep. Way deep.
Gotta be TJ. And that ball's on the ground.
Oh, that was
And it'll
almost what
stay
Carroll-
Mustang ball. That would have been quite a turn
Marbury
of
was,
events.
yeah, Marbury was almost a Johnny on the spot to be able to pick that up.
First
He was
down.
able to jump on it.
Mustangs ball.
Wow. That would have been a huge turn of events if that had gone in Carroll's favor.
And of course, don't want to. I'd be remiss we didn't bring out that McNamara did have that one big running play for a touchdown. It was they had a big play strike.
No, there's 14 points, absolutely legit, came from the offense when they put together a little bit of drives. Were able to punch it in. That's why there's just maybe the scoop and score, let's say, was the 6 that we take away, and that's why I think Carroll's defense at least is doing enough to keep them in the ballgame.
Quick throw to the outside.
Oh, look who it is again.
TJ.
Mr. Carroll.
Second down, Mustangs.
Mr.
Second
Carroll,
and
Ron Burke Jr. on the stop. He's everywhere now. Another two-way player.
Yeah, I'm tired watching these guys. It's only been 2 quarters.
Watch him coming off the edge here.
Another quick throw to the outside, same play.
He makes the play.
They're going to be close to moving the chains. Let's see if they give it to him.
Okay.
It's first down. So 2 quick passes out to the outside. I mean, that's what we said right out of the gate. We said what these guys were trying to do.
Yeah,
Get the
so
ball outside the
clustered,
hash.
So clustered in the middle there. Get it out. Spread this defense up a little bit.
Hand
They got to
off
respect it after a while. There's a flag.
right away. Fourth play of the half.
Again, that's sort of in the area of holding.
Yep.
Holding or hands to the face on the defense, holding on the offense. Let's see what we got here.
Holding against McNamara. It looked like I'll let you do it. They called 55. Jeremiah Murray. You hate to be the first time you say a guy's name. It's the nature of the beast there. That's going to back up the Mustangs. TJ in motion. Miguel with the snap. He'll work out to his right, and he'll throw it quickly, and it's into traffic and knocked away. Jerry and Barry is talking to his teammates. And once again, McNamara's offense is up against it. 2nd and 20. It's just it's difficult to operate from these distances, and both of these offenses were faced with this exact scenario
honestly,
all half.
Probably the worst field position they've had all day, and Carroll's doing what they're supposed to be doing defensively right now.
Yep. Miguel to throw. He steps up in the pocket, and he's going to be on the move. He's working up the left sideline, and that's a big gainer. And I believe that's going to move the chains.
Good poise. What great poise by the quarterback. Nothing's there. He doesn't panic. He kind of finds a lane. He decides to make the decision to go, and he goes, and he outruns 1, 2.
And it
line
won't be a
defenders.
first down. It's going to be – referee's going to take a timeout. He's going to talk. Now the penalty on holding, we'll see what they're going to call here. It should be 3rd down and short.
All right,
Everybody's on the same play. Okay, we're all on the same page.
They figured it out.
Now McNamara wants to get the first down here on the ground with number 26. Let's see if they can pull it off, because Carroll knows that's what they want to do as well. And a quick timeout by Coach Quick.
And it's an important one. This is an important 3rd down for Carroll. I mean, extremely important to try to get this ball back early in the second half. You got a 3rd down opportunity to get them off the field. This is not 4-down territory, I wouldn't think.
No.
From your own territory. So, good idea by Coach Quick. Make sure that his young men know what they need to do, know what their responsibilities are. I have a feeling, everybody and their mother thinks that number 26 is probably going to get it here. So, Coach Quick is probably telling his guys, listen, you got to be disciplined. Do your gaps right here. Do your job in the middle so that they can't run it. But be aware on the outside if they're going to do another quick screen.
And you're looking at number 2 and number 5 and number 7 and number 8. The big guys, for Carroll, and Ron Burke, Jerry and Barry, Aaron Marbury, and Arnold Big Arnold, God, he's been everywhere all day today in the middle of that field, and they know what's coming. I think we all know what's coming. Let's see if the big guys up front for McNamara can get it done. Jerry and Barry looks confident ahead of this play.
Oh, he's everything Coach advertised him to be.
Yep. Kajambo's there, number 8. And now we're going to have a huge mistake as Lugard false start, and that's going to back up McNamara 5 yards.
Can't do that. Especially when you're the wide receiver, you're just supposed to be watching the ball. You're not even supposed to be listening to the count or anticipating.
That's a big. See
it
if McNamara can overcome it, but it puts Carroll in a much better situation on defense.
Totally changes the scenario, right?
Yep.
Empty backfield now.
Well, no, you got Ford on his left.
Okay.
Quick throw, and now he's going deep, and he's got Lugard there. No flag, good coverage.
As a quarter, I'm gonna be a little bit critical right now of Miguel, only because when you have a guy like Adepoye, who's got the size 6'7",
yep,
you've got to put that ball up and give him a chance. You got to give him the opportunity to get the ball, because if you put it up there and give him the opportunity to go up high and get it, it's going to be, most times than not, it's going to be a big play for you. He just isn't giving Adepoye the opportunity to make a play on the ball. It's either a little too long or it's a little bit inside. Put that ball up, way up.
Punt is away, and it's a good one. Fielded at the 30-yard line. And we got a flag down. It looked like it might have got a little bit of a face mask.
Or maybe
Mark Butler. Okay. I couldn't tell if yeah, you're right. No, it's a block in the back.
Daniel Williams is got his hands up going, what, me? It wasn't me.
That's not a good sign.
Anything.
That's not a good sign.
Yeah. He may have a case, but I have yet to see a referee reverse his call just because a kid puts his arms down.
Sometimes you just got to win the debate, team.
I mean, everybody gives it a shot.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, the worst they can say is no, right?
That's right. You don't get 100% of the calls you want reversed. Reversed if you don't ask for them. Ball's going to be sitting at the 25-yard line. Carroll Lions looking at a 75-yard field.
They're going to go with Asante
to get on the board. Under center, handoff in the backfield. TK Davis.
And not bad, not a huge gainer, but right now Carroll's going to take any positive plays they can get.
Absolutely.
A good.
And look at him get right back to the line of scrimmage.
Good, 2 yards maybe.
And this is what I like. This is what sense of urgency first and foremost, down 20 points, but sense of purpose also as TK Davis spins through the hole.
All right, not bad. Not flashy, not anything special, but you've got a 3rd and maybe about 4 now.
Yeah.
Because of the extra effort.
And you're right back on the line of scrimmage.
This is doable.
This should be a recipe for success. TK Davis again powering his way through, and that's good for a first down as he lays the wood on the McNamara defense.
TK Davis putting an exclamation point on that run. 3 in a row for the young man. He hit him so hard he's got an equipment problem. His helmet had to come off.
Yeah, that was all TK all day out of the gate here for Carroll. Now we got a flag right away. Referee on the McNamara sidelines.
Look at that. Okay, that's another warning.
It's a get-back warning. Now that's the second time, I believe.
He may be generous. Maybe he was just.
No, it's a 5-yard penalty.
Oh, it is. You're right.
And it was kind of like a underarm sidewinder flag throw. Let's see if we can get that on replay. He's been practicing that one. It was an undercover flag throw as Burke slices and dices his way upfield.
And here's why I'm over here, way over here on the sideline. I said they weren't having any success between the tackles. Well, they've done something either schematically or they just fired up this Carroll team and said, we're going to go out there and just run it.
Well,
old school style.
Right
Ground and
back
pound.
to the line of scrimmage once again, and that's going to be another
Fifth
handoff
one
to
in a
Burke.
row.
And he'll be dropped at the line of scrimmage, and that is Jalen Higginbotham, who had himself a nice second quarter. Had an interception called back, a couple other big plays. It would be 2nd and 10. I call it 2nd and 11.
Yeah, they're going to have to go to the air here. Keep an eye on maybe a screen.
I was going to say, I'm thinking, a little more simpler.
High percentage.
Quick throw, high ball, brought down by Darnell Williams.
It was a high percentage throw.
Yeah.
But at 3rd and 11, it's not what you need.
Well, yeah, that'll bring up 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8.
But now it's 3rd. Okay.
Dylan Newman for McNamara got there super quick.
Make sure that down is right. They have 3 on the down marker. 3rd on the down marker.
3rd and long. Asante in shotgun. 3-step drop. He steps up in the pocket, and he'll be dropped for a sack. And that was Javarius Lassiter. Now he's been shaken up a little bit today already. You can see he kind of got up a little gingerly, but he's fine.
I'll tell you what, we got to remember Asante Batiste is he's just a freshman. You know, that's a lot to be asking of a freshman when you got a lot of pressure coming from the front 4, if not the front 7.
It's a luxury too, though.
And it's not a knock on him.
It's a luxury if you can get him experience, get the reps.
I have a feeling they may have to, go back to Arnold eventually, the little bit more experienced quarterback. But I think they're really trying to keep him fresh on the defensive side of the ball right now.
Good snap, punts away, and then it'll kind of die right where it lands. 1st down and 10. Bishop McNamara Mustangs. Again, about 7 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Still a little sloppy with the penalties here in the 2nd half, but for the most part, both teams, you can see they came out with an idea of what they wanted to do. Carroll wanted to play quick and get the ball in the hands of TK and Ron, and McNamara on offense looking for Miguel to get the ball outside quickly to their wide receivers. We'll see if Lawrence Washington in the backfield now. And he gets the carry. He'll work it over the left side. And he's got some room, and he'll be brought down by Cam Williams.
Great second effort on the run. I'm not so sure he picked up too much. Carroll really coming out, being physical on both sides of the ball here and start off the 2nd half.
Second down. Miguel in the shotgun. Quick ball out to.
Now they're going to call that incomplete.
Okay, I was looking for the referee to make the sign.
It was a little.
What was it? Because it was overhand.
Gray area. He threw it overhand. He kind of threw it sideways, maybe a little bit ahead of him, enough for the referee to say it was incomplete. He was a little indecisive at first, but
yep. That's a tough position to put your receiver in, where you're going to toss it 3.5 yards to a guy who's about to get creamed by. It looked like Aaron Marbury. There's a guy down for Carroll.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. This game has been physical. That you can tell both of these teams came here to make sure that the other team remembered that they played this game.
Well, you're right. It was physical in the 1st half, but especially here in the 2nd half, I think Carroll has come out. Sometimes your message to players when you're down 20-0 at halftime, it's not yelling at them, it's not berating them, it's firing them up and saying, hey, listen, it may be 20 or nothing, but regardless of what the score is at the end of the game, make them feel that you were here.
Yep.
Don't give up on the effort. Don't give up on the physicality of the game. And I think that's part of the strategy right now for Carroll.
Third down for the Mustangs. Fortin in the backfield with Miguel. Tight end in motion. 2 wideouts on either side. It's a handoff to number 26, and he's going to fight his way forward, and he's still on his feet. Great effort by Fortin.
He does run hard.
And it's 4th down, and he certainly ran enough distance, but he ran it side to side, not north-south.
Again, Carroll's defense does what they're supposed to do.
And that's going to bring out the punt team is Keontae Glenn. And he's going to be punting it to Mark Butler Jr., the sophomore. He made a couple guys miss. The last time out, here comes the punt, and it's a short one, and it's going to hop. Now that's a...
He couldn't do that again if he tried.
No, I was going to say, I didn't even know how to call that. In the NFL, if you do that, the other team can grab it and run, and there can be no bad result for
he sort of had
the
like a volleyball spike.
Yeah, I think
combined into a basketball dribble.
I think if you're going to touch it, if you're going to touch it, they want you to possess it. You don't want to knock that ball around. It's a little different in high school than the pros, obviously, but good to start early.
They stick with Asante Batiste.
Asante stays in. TK Davis back in the backfield. It's like Micah Buchanan leading the way.
Stonewall.
No gain. 2nd and 10. And TK, he fought his way back onto the field for this drive, but he's shaking up. He'll make his way over to the sideline. Ron Burke, he'll step off the field. Robert Smith lining up the backfield to the right of the quarterback. Quick pass out. He's going to find a receiver. Makes the first guy miss. It's Deshaun Williams. Picks up a couple yards for Carroll. Maybe 1 yard. Jalen Higginbotham, one of the Mustangs in on that tackle. 3rd and long for the Lions.
Yeah, Asante, again, he's a freshman. You want to get that ball out there a little bit quicker. He just does not have the arm strength yet to get it out there quick enough so that when his guy gets the ball, he's able to do something out there. It just got out a little late.
Jamil Bosick on the left. Cam Williams in motion. He'll join DeMille on the short side of the field. Sante with a quick throw. Now he had to get rid of that one quick. And he took a hit right after delivery. And the offensive linemen are trying to pick him up off the field. It'll bring up 4th down and about 10. As the McNamara pass rush got to him quickly, and he'll sit down.
Yeah, he's in pain.
Yeah,
he's holding his bottom leg. He's holding his lower extremity. Looks like maybe somebody kind of fell in on him as he stepped into that throw, and that's what made it fall short. Couldn't really step into it.
Yeah, he's been throwing it off that back foot as a result of some of these Mustang defensive linemen getting in the backfield pretty quickly.
Well, that's the pressure. That's the pressure that McNamara's front 4 and front 7 have been putting on this Carroll team. If they're not able to get that ball out quick enough, they're getting home. And if they're not getting home before he gets rid of it, they're getting home as he's getting rid of it, and it's really disrupting the play.
T, I'm trying to put a marker on when it was 20-0. I want to say McNamara was up 20-0 early in the second quarter, and there really hasn't been any real threat. Of course, McNamara had an opportunity to kick a field goal or go for a fourth down touchdown, play at the very end of the first half that was stymied by Carroll Lions as Ben Chandler tried to fight his way into the end zone. But for the most part, the Lions have shut down the scoring.
Yeah. Well, to recap, I mean, they had a scoop and score right inside the 5. McNamara did, so that was a quick
Heyman,
6.
yep.
And then they had the bad snap on the punt in the end zone. I think it was Williams was able to run it out, but he only got to about
inside
8.
the 10. Yep.
So he had an 8-yard short field. So there's 14 right there. And then Lawrence Williams,
with the long run.
With the long run, which was really the only successful long, somewhat sustained drive that McNamara's had all day. So this game's much closer than the 20-0 score that we see on the scoreboard.
Good snap, good kick as he gets a Carroll bounce. That ball is going to find its way inside the 5 to about the 2-yard line.
Woo, probably the best play of the day for Carroll. How about that?
Deshaun Williams.
Again, an opportunity for Carroll to maybe flip the field position. I know they're looking for their first, big break of the day, be it possibly an
I think they're looking for a defensive score,
or a fumble.
That's what they're looking for. Yep.
If not a defensive score, at least get a better field position. If you can stop them on third and force a punt, and get good field position and put yourself in an opportunity to be in a scoring position, you're going to close the gap a little bit and make this a game.
And that's a jump, and I believe
those are the mistakes that crush you as a coach.
You got a team,
mistake.
And you got a team on the 2-yard line, and you're going to gift them 5 yards.
It's the mental mistake. It's the mental, just not focused on it. That's not an effort mistake. That's a disciplined mental mistake.
Yep.
They've got to eliminate those. Can't hurt yourself.
Charles Fortin in the backfield with 9 Noah. And that is going to go back the other way as the center didn't snap it when everyone else thought that he maybe should have. A little lack of communication. And once again, McNamara will be right on back at the 2-yard line. Just like that, 1st and 10. And as frustrated as Coach Quick was 45 seconds ago, Coach Calhoun is now joining that party. Now, did they call that half the distance? I guess they did. It's a 5-yard penalty from the 7.
That's the rule, though, when it's...
Okay. When it's inside the 10, I guess? I don't know.
Can't be more than half. That's why they half it.
Charles Fortin met at the 1. He's going to get forward progress to about the 2.
I say Marbury was again the first one that broke through and made the initial contact.
Yeah, and
he has been everywhere today. There he is right there slipping underneath. What a great little swim move he had on the inside there. Not only is that power, but quickness by Marbury.
Kajambu finishing it off. 2nd and long. There's the handoff over the left side.
Gain of about 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's going to bring up 3rd down for the Mustangs. 3rd and short. They're only got to need about 3.5, 4 yards here. And it looks like they're bringing in some meat. Isaiah Inman, Brandon Freeman checking in for the Mustangs. Isaiah Inman got a touchdown.
Talk about Inman, as in Mrs. Inman, who helped us get a parking spot today.
Keeper for Miguel. And that's a sack. He was tackled, I believe, behind the line of scrimmage. So once again, the Carroll Lions hold it up. And unless Glenn can get off a really good punt, the Carroll will have succeeded and flipping the field, because here you have Mark Butler for Carroll standing inside McNamara territory waiting to receive this punt. Some hang time. Fair catch is called for, but that ball is going to be down by the Mustangs inside the 40. This will be the best starting field position for the day, I believe, for Carroll Lions, even after Cam Williams' kickoff return to start the game.
Well, this is where, this is why this is the ultimate team game, right? Defense goes out there, fights hard, is able to get the ball back. And if you're a Carroll Lion on the offensive side of the ball now, this is a gut check, right? Your defense has done what they've needed to do. They've given you an opportunity. Now it's your chance to capitalize on it. They just have not been able to capitalize at all yet on the offensive side of the ball.
Asante Batiste, after coming off with an injury on the last series, he's back in shotgun here for the Carroll Lions.
Shocked they didn't go with Arnold here.
Bossing in that slot, and he wants all of it right away. He's got a man going deep. And that is a touchdown for the – oh, no, he doesn't. He faked this out.
Again, we're the farthest away. We're at the opposite end.
Jason Adams with good coverage there for the Mustangs. It looked like from here because that ball just kind of –
opportunity, man. Woof.
Hey, you know what, though? I love the call.
Got to take that shot, right? You got to let the defense know. And the only good part about that being incomplete is now the defense is on notice that they're capable of making that play.
Yeah, you get a guy singled up on the outside. Asante under center. It's going to be a handoff. And they're going to try the middle. As Robert Smith doesn't see much there. He's going to bring up 3rd and long here for the Lions. And at some point here with just over a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter, and some of the better field position Carroll's had, you wonder if you're entering 4-down territory here for the Lions, right?
Yes, you're in 4-down territory, no doubt.
That's right.
Don't have to get it all here, but at least,
get a chunk.
Give him a chance.
Asante, he's going to move up. He's got some room to run, and he's got a guy wide open. We don't see the signal from the referee because he got knocked out. Referee's still on the ground.
Did he reach over the goal line? Was he able to get the ball across?
The referee
says so, yes.
The referee is down. The referee he's not made a signal, and he is down.
He needs to make a signal. Deshaun Williams.
There's no
wants
signal.
To know, or no, Deshaun Williams wants to know.
We don't mean to be, rude to the referee, but he's down. Matt Seal is over there. He'll get us the scoop. This ball does not appear to have gone into the end zone. There's no points on the board, and I saw one referee giving the one hand up.
I thought he had extended that ball.
It was
across
close.
The plane, right at the pylon.
It was real close.
You got to sell yourself out there, young man. You got 1 yard to go. Dive.
And on 3rd and long in 4-down territory, Carroll Lions dial up a big play in the freshman. I mean, that's a lot of points. Keeping your eyes downfield at this point of a game when you've been battered by the opponent's pass rush, that is commendable.
Good awareness by the young signal caller.
All right, so they got very short yardage to go. They got a jumbo package in. The deep man is Robert Smith. And we're going to get a timeout. McNamara with 49 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. And, hey, listen, the way this second half has gone, if Carroll can punch this in and play defense the way they've been playing, we might see something here at the end of the game.
I do think the onus right now is more on the Carroll offense to get things going, to get some points on the board. Carroll's defense is doing what they're supposed to be doing. McNamara's not really showing offensively that they can take control of this game and run time off. It's down to Carroll's offense right now. See what they can do. This being the best drive they've had all game long.
Yeah. Well,
you get one in. I don't know if you go for 2. But you get one in, and you're getting close to two-score territory.
It's a good question. I'm taking points, but at the same time, the first priority is no mistakes. Carroll can lose 5 yards here. McNamara can't. McNamara's backed up here to their goal line. You don't want to misstep here on offense. You don't want to lose this field position. It looks like Ronald Burke Jr. is now the deep guy, and we're going to get a Philadelphia Eagle. Tush push.
I knew you'd say it. Kevin and I refuse to say, we just call it the push.
The push.
Just the push.
And there's no signal, and they're not signaling.
Let's just call it the push.
We're just going to call it the push.
Inches.
They gained.
That's on the 1 inch line. Look at that. You can't get better camera work than that.
I mean, look at us right there. Okay. I mean, the center can reach this ball in. Asante, he's going to get in there, and
I don't know if he got it.
they're not raising their signal. I don't know how you can't get that.
He did not get any momentum.
He didn't lose anything.
And again, I don't know why they don't have Arnold in the game. This is no offense
to Asante, that's right.
To Asante Batista, but.
Okay, so the play was whistled dead.
Gotcha.
And that explains that. So Carroll picked up about, let's just call it, I believe.
Is it an automatic first?
That's in centimeters, that the yardage they gained there.
Is it automatic first?
I don't think it is there's no first down to gain.
I think they call it encroachment or offsides.
No, I think it remains second down.
Gotcha.
And nothing. More whistles. That's it. We're focused so hard on the goal line, we missed the fact that the third quarter is over, and now they're going to walk down the length of the field and place the ball at the 1 inch line right in front of us, T. And after 3 quarters of play with 12 minutes to go in the game, the Bishop McNamara Mustangs clinging to a 20-point lead. You say clinging because the third quarter you have to give to Carroll. If you're scoring this like a boxing match, the Carroll Lions won the third quarter.
Yep, they were the sluggers in the third quarter. Came out punching and never gave up. And so they didn't really gain anything on the scoreboard, but I feel like they're maybe kind of seizing control of the game at this point.
We got the referee down here, like the one that they got knocked out. He's doing some calisthenics and some stretching. I heard them asking how he's doing. He says he's okay, and
he's the one that showed up late.
Yeah, I mean he didn't get his warm-ups in. Did not get his warm-ups in.
Did he get a stretch?
So he's going to take his spot in the back of the end zone. I mean, the nose of the ball. I mean, there's like a blade of grass, a blade of fake turf grass separating the Carroll Lions.
And look who's behind center now. The middle linebacker.
Yeah, it's T. I mean, you're the coach here. That's the right call. And he's going to find his way in, and we'll get a signal here. There it is. Touchdown, Carroll Lions on the board. Replace that 0. We put up a 6 as 66.
Now, this may sound strange, but
Josiah Bush signaling for it. It absolutely is.
It's a 2-score game right now.
It looks like they're going to bring in the kicking team. They're going to get their extra point, and that'll keep it that'll make it a 2-touchdown game without having to get any 2-point conversions. It's Ronald Burke, Mr. Everything, is the holder.
That was close.
And it was almost blocked. Whew. But Victor Diaz Aviles knocks it in.
It ain't over.
I'll tell you what, you see the body language from the Carroll Lions. They do. If you put your hand over the score and looked at the body language of these teams right this very second, you might think the score was reversed.
No, I do. I believe that Coach Quick and that coaching staff went in there, and more so than drawing up different plays or focusing on certain plays, they went in there and just said, man, at some point, you just got to go out there and give maximum effort, maximum toughness. We're going to go old school. We're going to pound it, and you guys are going to just make them hate the fact that they're playing against you, regardless of what the score is on the scoreboard. It's their homecoming. We're here to spoil it. And so far in the third quarter, they've done a pretty good job of that and now making it a little bit of a game.
McNamara's got to get first downs on this drive. They got to control a little bit of clock, and they got to kind of take back the momentum that was taken from them in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think, you didn't ask, but I'm going to tell you anyway. McNamara needs to come out, highly use their running game. Thornton, take a page from Carroll's playbook right now. Try to out-physical your opponent. Put yourself in manageable third down so that you can keep moving the chain and keep the clock running.
Ball fielded at 12. Lawrence Williams making his way for good field position, and they'll mark him down at about the 35. Actually, even better than that. He almost made the 40. If you're driving a black Nissan, you're parked extremely illegally. Sometimes I wonder, I want to see some of these parking jobs when they announce you. That's some egregious parking. I mean, this place has been full since 10 o'clock this morning. And I know you drive around looking for a spot and you want to make it into the stadium. When the announcer has to announce it, it's basically parked on a hydrant at this point. Miguel, shotgun, 1st and 10, Mustangs. Handoff, Fortin, and he is stood up by Ronald Burke.
How about that tackle? You couldn't get any more fundamental than that.
Jerry and Barry helps him up.
And the hot pops off. Yeah, he's got to come out that play, unfortunately.
No gain. You know what? They're going to give him a yard and a half. That's a hard-earned yard and a half.
But again, a win on the Carroll side, right?
That's right.
You want to give 3 or more? They held them to 1.
Quick out. And they're going to get some positive yardage here. It's TJ.
Not much,
Shane Bliss.
1, maybe 2. What did they get?
Chambliss gets him into third and super short. So I'd say about 2 yards. And they're going to get back to the line of scrimmage. And again, get everyone set. Looking back to coach. You check with me. And here comes the snap. And Fortin, he's going to try the middle. And he's got a first down for the Mustangs, and he gets over midfield.
Well, they heard you, Ken. They just need to keep getting first downs.
And they're getting right back to the line of scrimmage. There's the page out of Carroll's playbook.
Well, but they're gonna pace it though. They're not in a hurry to snap the ball. You don't need to be in a hurry to snap the ball. He's probably gonna check with the sidelines.
Lawrence Williams. And Carroll just has been getting these McNamara running backs running sideways at the line of scrimmage, and that's a bad direction when you got the Arnold and Ron and these guys for Jerium for Carroll.
Well, once again, Carroll wins the first down, but in the last series they didn't win second or third.
Big wide side of the field for Lugard, covered by DeMille Bostic. Let's see what McNamara does. And they're going right out to it. We saw it here before the play, and Lugard's fighting Bostic. He fights off that tackle, and he's working his way up the left sidelines.
You can't coach speed. You can't coach size. You just can't. I mean, that right there is a product of a 6'7" man.
And they've been trying all day to figure out how to.
And that's Bostic. I mean, that's no joke.
No,
that is just pure effort, pure strength, pure size.
It stood out, T. I'm looking and I'm seeing, those are the only 2 players within 40 yards of each other was Bostic and Lugard. And McNamara got it. Miguel keeps this and slides right around the 10-yard line. And again, they're running a hurry up back to the line of scrimmage. And we're going to get a timeout from Carroll as they want to slow this train down.
But this is exactly what you had said, Ken, McNamara needed. This is exactly what Coach Calhoun said. This is what we got to do, put together a long, sustained drive, eating up a lot of time on the clock. Just over 5 minutes now. They've had the ball. And that's going to limit the opportunities for Carroll to bring this within one-score game, especially if McNamara is able to get any points on the board here. Even 3
in the
would be huge.
Fourth quarter, these guys, we're talking about a lot of two-way guys. That timeout was as much about getting something set up for this particular drive as it was about getting some of these guys a breather. I mean, most of these guys haven't been off the field all day long.
But even if they held them to 3, it's still a 2-score game with 2-point conversions on each one. So
McNamara has struggled in the red zone.
Punch it in. Yeah, they have struggled.
Lawrence Washington is the back. Lugard kind of in the slot here on the left with the bunch formation of 3 receivers on the right. And this is a fade to Lugard. And he's going to go up.
He had that opportunity. You got to catch that.
Yeah, and he does have good hands. We saw it on the basketball court. But I'll tell you what, Bostic's been a menace to him today. His skill has negated the size difference. Demille Bostic has had a great day in coverage against the big man. But again, this speaks to, it's almost like, of course, McNamara can get a first down here. I believe it's 3rd down here for the Mustangs. But Carroll seems to have an answer when in the short field. Their defense has played tough. Miguel with the keeper. And I think he's going to get enough for the first down to make it 1st and goal. We'll see where they mark it.
There's nice sportsmanship there.
No, they're calling this 4th down and a half a yard. This is a huge play. Now, wait a second. We got some whistles out there. Referees are going to talk about it. Coach Quick wants a explanation for something. I don't know what it is. The head referee's giving Coach an explanation. Maybe they're making dinner plans. There's some good spots around here.
That'll be the first time the head coach and referee go out to eat after the game.
They're chatting it up. Catching up. They got it. I think the reservation's been made. And they're pre-ordering the souffle. 4th and short. I'm sorry. Take that. Do I take that back? I can't see the stick. The ball is quickly thrown out to the side, and every flag in the arsenal is thrown out at the same time. And I think that they had given that first down to McNamara. Initially, they had marked it as 4th and a half a yard.
You got to call this on Bostic again.
Well, these are tight spaces. And by the way, Lugard just gave the layup signal to Miguel. And if I had to guess, I think that tells me this ball is going to Lugard in the left corner. And there it goes. There's a little height under the ball. And Lugard, does he come down with it?
Came down with it. It looked like he had his foot in.
They're going to say no catch. No catch.
Heck of an effort. I'd love to see Lugard at a foyer just be able to go up and get the ball at its highest point.
Yep.
And now I think this is something he's got to learn with some experience and use his height to his advantage. The quarterback's got to learn how to use his height to their advantage, putting a ball where only he's going to have an opportunity to get it or nobody else.
Jalen Roberts. Anthony Little in the backfield.
Ball's
here
on the ground, and it looks like maybe Carroll's
saying
got it.
They got it, and that would be a
This
huge
is the break they've
turn of
been looking
events.
for all game long, and look who it is. Williams, a young man who's been making plays all day for this Carroll Lions team, and probably none bigger than this one. The exchange, it just wasn't there. Drops straight down, and he's able to dive on it. Now, the only problem is you're in the second worst spot on the field with about 98 yards in front of you.
Caroline down. It looks like a cramp. We're hoping that's all it is. But, you know, hey, once again, the Caroline's defense has an answer and able to capitalize on a McNamara mistake in the red zone.
Holding them to no points is huge. Absolutely huge. But 98 yards, that's a long way to go for an offense that just has not been able to put together a long, sustained drive on the day.
8 minutes, 20 seconds to go. McNamara up 14, and they're going to be asking their defense to do what Carroll just did. Keep Carroll out of the end zone here. We saw some clouds forming here before, but now we got some blue sky.
That's beautiful.
Sun poking through. Feels great out here. No wind, really.
You couldn't ask for a better day for a homecoming. Now, Carroll's got to be careful here, right? I think they got to keep it on the ground at first if they don't do a high percentage, maybe screen or hitch or slant, but they got to give themselves some breathing room here.
Ronald Burke is a deep back. They got a fullback in front of him. Asante under center.
Not much breathing room.
And that's Dylan Newman. And he's been as advertised. He's a super physical player. He's got speed. And he gets his hands on you. He doesn't miss tackles once that happens. Absolute leader on this defense. Big play for Carroll. This is not 4-down territory.
No.
Unfortunately for Coach Quick. They got to get some yards.
This is when it helped when you had a Nicholas Harbor, 6'5", Olympic athlete to get you out of a bind. They go with Arnold here.
Ronald Burke, Micah Buchanan in the backfield, and I believe there'll be a timeout. And I believe it's going to be called by Carroll.
Yeah, Ronald Burke Jr. had his arms up as if there was some miscommunication. Weren't quite sure what they were supposed to do.
I mean, if you're a coach and you got a guy like Arnold Kajambu on the field on either side of the ball, you feel pretty good. I mean, he's obviously an absolute stud on defense. We've watched him make plays today on offense. I just love, especially having a chance to talk to Coach Quick this week about what he's trying to do and what he's trying to establish in terms of his program. These snaps that Asante Batista have gotten today are just, I mean, they're worth their weight in gold. And, and he hasn't looked lost. That big play they made downfield just a drive ago was huge. I mean, again, he was getting beat up all day long, and he kept his eyes downfield and found a receiver. Arnold looking to his left, puts the ball in the air, and he overthrows both the DB and his intended receiver.
Again, just give him a shot. Give him
Sean
an opportunity
Williams.
to catch that. It was an uncatchable ball. In that position, you put it up. Even if you throw it a little short, get some air under it. Let your guy have an opportunity. If McNamara intercepts it, it's really not much different than a punt, shorter punt. But It just hurts. It's frustrating when you throw the ball out of bounds and you waste an opportunity or even a chance to get a first down. But this is going to be dicey. They've already had some problems with the special teams when they're backed up in their own end zone.
Yeah, Cam Williams. He's doing the count. I believe he's asking for another player, and he will get one. Always want to have when you can get 11 guys, you want 11 guys.
Unless you're Notre Dame. And then sometimes you do it twice in a row with just 10 players.
Actually, they were about to do it with 10 players, and now they're going to do it with 11. Ball is high, snapped, and he is going to be running it out of his end zone. And that's a safety for the Bishop McNamara Mustangs.
But that's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world.
It becomes a 15-point game, still technically a two-possession game. And you'd rather give up the safety than give McNamara the ball for a chance to get 7. Bill Belichick would
not a great outcome.
That's
not
right.
The worst outcome.
That's right. And I believe we'll get a punt here. Does anything bring Jerry and Barry down?
They would call it a free kick.
Free kick. I like it. I just love the positivity and the energy from Jerry and Barry today. He knows one speed, and it's capital H, happy. It's great. Victor Diaz-Aviles on the field, and he's got a little bit of a foot. Timeout.
We wish. That would mean we had sponsors. And if you want to sponsor First Amendment Sports.
Yes, please let us know.
What is that email? First Amendment Sports?
First Amendment Sports at gmail.com. Follow us at Plead the First CEO on Twitter. It's Raining Ken, at It's Raining Ken.
We're
at
open to
T13
all
Strachan.
sponsorships.
Absolutely. And I like this. Victor's got a nice leg. He's been consistently putting the ball in the air. Let him kick it off the ground. A lot of motion here. And we're all set. Great leg. Great kick. Ball will be down. I mean, it was an excellent kick. You couldn't ask for a better outcome after giving up a safety. There will be some flags at the end.
Some extracurriculars. These two teams, not a lot of love lost on the field. There's been a lot of chirping, a little bit of extra stuff.
We'll see who that's on.
Tyshawn Helm to our right, Ken. Tyshawn Helm.
Oh, there he is. Man, I tell you, they're missing him today.
On his crutches in the end zone over here. He is the former quarterback for the Carroll Lions, the WCAC champion.
That's right.
Carroll Lions. And he is at Albright College, but unfortunately using crutches right now because he told us before the game that he has torn his meniscus. He came home for the surgery. We wish him the best.
That's right.
Recovery, and we know that he'll get back out there for Albright when the time is right. He's not small. He's a big man. He's not playing quarterback. He's actually they're moving him around quite a bit.
Yeah, he's what you call a
football player.
Football player, capital F, capital P. And he was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, he's such a nice young man that we had an opportunity to talk to him. Wish him the best.
Miguel, handoff to Fortin, and he runs over the first tackler. It's still a relatively short gain. I mean, that's about as hard as you can work for 4 yards in high school football. And he runs downhill.
No, he's not afraid of contact, and he keeps those feet moving.
2nd and 6. Another handoff. Fortin runs sideways. We got a flag down.
That's going to be a hold.
As he'll pick his way forward for about 3 yards, and that's where that flag was thrown. And it's going to be holding on Bishop McNamara. That'll come back. It'll be second down and about 15.
The clock becomes your enemy now if you're Carroll. It becomes your friend if you're McNamara, but I don't know how much of a friend it is when you keep making these mistakes and getting behind schedule. Second and about 15.
Lawrence
14.
Washington in the backfield for the Mustangs. Trips left, Lugard right. Miguel with the keeper over the left side. He pays the price for a 1-yard gain. And that's a called keeper, and I think what Coach Calhoun was looking for there is a clock that doesn't stop. Giving Mason Samuels a lot of room, and Cam Williams is going to step up on him now. 4 wideouts in a diamond formation on the right side, and they'll change that up now. It'll be 3 snaps in a Z formation, men on film style. Miguel all by himself in the backfield. He's quickly running up the field. And that'll keep the clock moving. And it'll bring up 4th down.
And that's all it'll do is keep the clock moving. They're going to get ball back with decent field position.
Coach Calhoun is going to wait to bring the punt team on, and now they'll come on. Snap handled.
Short.
Glenn with the punt, and it's going to bounce straight up.
And backwards, so they're going to be right at midfield.
Just over 5 minutes to go. And there's whistles on the field. We want to see. There's a flag, and the referees are doing some counting. And I see some shoes coming off to use some toes. And they're going to have everybody come back. We might have to see this one happen again.
Maybe it's against Carroll they were just talking with.
5 yards ain't going to be good enough for a first down for McNamara, as Devontae Glenn is already back on the field for the Mustangs.
Get another do-over.
And we got a conference at midfield, a referee conference.
But
typically
the line of scrimmage hasn't moved.
It has not moved. One referee is on his knee. He doesn't even want to be a part of the conference. I've been to enough conferences. They're waving off the flag.
All that for nothing.
The old hanky
and
wave.
so does the play stand.
It's got to. Yeah, yep.
Play stand.
McNamara defense coming back on the field. Game on. I tell you what, these referee conferences, you never know what they're going to come up with. They meet, they talk. No one knows what they're doing when they're in there.
Hopefully they do.
Well, they seem to have a firm grasp on things. 5:17. Carroll with the ball at midfield. Asante in shotgun. He's looking to throw quickly outside. He's got a man. Darnell Williams.
There you go.
This is positive yards. It'll bring up second.
Quick out route.
Second down.
Asante does need to be careful about getting that ball out there late or slow.
Well, they got 2 receivers out here with 1 defensive back, so they got the possibility to run this one again. Asante looking to throw it. He's got it. He had Darnell running in a little bit of a bubble, and he tried to put it there. It was a good ball in the sense that only Darnell could have caught it.
It was a scramble drill. He got flushed out of the pocket. And Darnell, who was short, on a short route, saw him get out of the pocket and then took off long
And we got a flag
Not
down.
able to connect.
It's going to be holding on Carroll, and that's a brutal, brutal penalty.
Yeah, you go from 2nd and 6 to 2nd and 14. I'm sorry, 2nd and 6 is 2nd and 11.
Oh no, it's
Is that 14? No, it is,
yeah, it's about second. Let's call it 2nd and 15. We'll split the difference. It's a tough spot. Sante, quick ball, and he overthrows
Was that
his running back.
That wasn't allowed.
It's Robert Smith. Uncatchable ball, quickly whistled, incomplete. 3rd and long for Carroll. Clock hasn't moved too much. Still about 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the game.
Well, unfortunately, neither has the ball moved, other than backwards.
Yeah.
Again, 4 down territory. Don't have to get all at once.
And we will not see the punter for Carroll on this drive. That is for sure. 2 wide on either side. Asante, as he looks to pass, he rolls out and he throws it back. Now that's way up in the air once again. Real opportunity missed as Javaris Lassiter. I mean, that ball was in slow motion. Time stood still while that ball was in the air. Lassiter was really the best chance to catch it.
Now Carroll fans know exactly how the Redskins fans or the Commanders fans felt when Heineke was their quarterback. Who tended to put the ball up a little. I mean, I know I'm all for putting air into the ball, but that much air into the ball for a screen is dangerous.
And it looks like Arnold's coming back to cue this one. 4th and everything for Carroll with 4.5 minutes to go here in the game.
Now, unfortunately, you do have to get it all in one shot.
Got time. Just looking to the outside. Now that ball looks like it's caught by Jason Adams, but the offensive player also has his hands on it, and typically the tie goes, nope, they're going to call it INT. It looked intercepted from here.
It looked intercepted, and then the offensive player tried to wrestle it from him afterwards. It was almost a perfectly clean catch.
Yeah. As Jason Adams, well, Ben Chandler came out with the ball, but I'm pretty sure they'll credit Jason Adams with the INT.
The result, really not much different than a punt.
That's right.
But unfortunately for Carroll, there's 4 minutes and 34 seconds left on the clock. And it's starting to become not just a hill they have to climb, but a mountain.
Handoff over the left side. Physical run for Antoine Riddick.
Ball security is of utmost importance right now for McNamara.
No gain. The clock runs. So I'm sorry. We'll call that's about 2.5 yard gain. It'll bring up 2nd and 7 for the Mustangs.
Number 25, Antoine Riddick.
Under 4 now. I know Miguel letting that clock run. The handoff once again goes to Antoine Riddick. It'll bring up 3rd down. And we're now under 3.5 minutes to go here in this game.
And if you're Carroll and you're on defense, you got to find every way possible to try to punch that ball loose, strip that ball loose.
Yep, the peanut punch.
Do whatever you can in desperation to get that ball back.
Let's see if Antoine Riddick can finish off this first down for the Mustangs. It is Antoine, and he fights his way up the middle, and he'll be brought back by Ronald Burke. We'll see if they give him forward progress for the first, and they do. 1st and 10. Bishop McNamara. Now I know Miguel comes off the field, and we'll see Tristan Johnson come in at quarterback for the Mustangs. As we're just about 2.5 minutes to go. Andrew Hicks, I believe, number 20, if I'm not mistaken, is the running back. We'll get a quick check on that. No, it's Riddick. It's still Riddick. And Ronald Burke Jr. is not ready to stop playing football today.
He's doing everything he can to try to get that ball loose. What is the flag now?
Really, you got to really do something
whistle.
egregious at this point of the game to get a flag on you. Let's see what they're going to call. It's a dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike against Carroll.
Oh.
Unsportsmanlike against McNamara. They will offset.
Otherwise known as the quit it.
It never
call.
happened. If you think something just happened,
quit it.
You're wrong.
Stop.
Nothing actually just happened, T. Forget what you saw. You can, in fact, triple stamp a double stamp at this level. The only problem is the clock stops and the whistles are blowing. I wonder if they're do they just want to see if the whistle still works sometimes? So it's going to be a referee timeout on the backside. He's pointing to himself. I have no idea what just happened.
These refs are going to go home. They're going to take a nap, and they're going to be blowing the whistles.
They're going to be in
during
their
their nap.
Yeah. 2nd and 9. All right, the clock is moving. We're coming up on 2 minutes to go in this game. 2nd and long here. Tristan Johnson. He'll look to work that clock down as far as he can. They must be holding it on the field.
He looks frozen.
And they got, okay, you can see the backside judge giving the signal. Charles Fortin. And he'll put his head down.
Yeah.
And he'll be right at, in fact, they'll call it a first down. 1st and 10 for the McNamara Mustangs, and that should do it.
That may do it. Yep, that was good vision by Fortin.
A couple knees here should end this game.
And I do not believe Carroll has any timeouts left to stop the clock.
So they'll work this down. A couple knees will be all she wrote. And we got the referees are taking a timeout. I think they thought Demille Bostic was hurt because he's on a knee, but Demille Bostic is like, I know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. Do I really need to stand up for this?
I'm tired.
The guy's, he's been on the field 1,000 plays today. He's played his butt off against a 6'7" wide receiver, and he's done it admirably.
He really has.
Coming up on 40 seconds to go in this game. Maybe one knee is all it's going to take.
Yep. That'll do it.
Tristan Johnson with the knee. That's all she wrote. We'll see if the players will come off. And from Forestville, Maryland, on homecoming Saturday, the Bishop McNamara Mustangs improved to 6-0. A very lofty season result here for the Forestville faithful. As your final score will be 22-7. Coach Calhoun and Coach Quick, the first of hopefully many meetings on First Amendment Sports. On behalf of the team, Luke and Vic and Adrian and Brennan and Jordan, Tim Strachan, I'm Ken Meringolo. Thanks for watching. We will see you next week live from St. John's as the Cadets host the Good Counsel Falcons, I believe.
That is correct.
We'll see you then. Thank you so much. Have a great Saturday.
attention. Please start making your way to Mount Calvary. If you're waiting on a ride, please make your way to Mount